not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Tuesday, March 31st, the end of Q1. It's already here, man. It's already April. Tomorrow, one of my least favorite days, April Fool's Day, but there is never a bad day to talk college football on The Monty Show. Yes, Notre Dame is going to win the whole thing. All right, we'll see you tomorrow right here. Do you know how miserable all your lives are going to be when Notre Dame wins a national championship and I get to open the show every day saying, home of the national champion Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team? You're in so much trouble if that. It won't. Because I'm not allowed to have nice things. On The Monty Show, presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. And when I say the best injury attorneys, there's something that's very clear. You never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates. The advocates only get paid if and when they win your case. So you quite literally have nothing to lose. And everybody's out to make a buck. I totally get that. But when you go to an injury attorney, it's not because you're having a great day. You're injured. You've been in an accident. You need help. You need clear, risk-free advice. That's what you get at the Advocates. You shouldn't have to worry about scratching a check. No. You get clear, risk-free advice 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. You don't talk to a chatbot. There's no AI. You're talking to a real live injury attorney at theadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on The Monty Show. Oh, you put on a vest, I see. Jake in the entire pre-show did not have a vest on today.
Well, it was just resting on the chair, and I felt like it's only Tuesday. Vest can't have a day off yet.
Okay. Well, listen, I think that's really important. I think that's critically important. Let's get down to work on The Monty Show because I think there is this conversation around who's doing what and who's got the advantage. And I don't think there's any question right now that the college sports world is the SEC and the Big Ten. And Big 12 fan has grown leery of our discussions about this over the last couple of months. Can we just keep it real on this show? When you look at the future of college athletics, I don't see any way that the Big 12 and the ACC play a prominent role in that future. I don't see that. When you look at policy making, especially in college football, where, it's essentially in writing that the SEC and the Big Ten control the future of college football. I just think if you are not in one of those two conferences, your path to winning a national championship, I think, is significantly steeper. You look at the Big Ten winning back-to-back national championships now. You look at the fact that the SEC, what LSU is doing is simply spectacular. And NIL, the portal, recruiting, spectacular. And we'll talk about Notre Dame in a minute. I think the harsh reality in college athletics is if you are not in the SEC and the Big Ten, you don't have a say in your future. You don't have a say. You don't control whether or not you can win a national championship. And Jake, I think that frustrates a lot of fans.
Yeah, well, I think it's frustrating, when you think about why you don't have a say. It's not just that you don't have the say, it's how that dynamic came to be. And you look at teams that have come and go from the Pac-12, the Big 12, these conferences that are essentially just headed in the wrong direction. And I think that's the part that's tough to take. It's like, all right, well, we used to have Oklahoma and Texas. We used to have, some bigger brands and some heavy hitters, but But now those folks are gone, right? And obviously with Oklahoma and Texas, that they went to the SEC. But you just look at the way, you look at the way the college football landscape has changed, and it just hasn't changed for the better if you're the Big 12 and the ACC. And I think that that's partially your own doing. I mean, if you look at, just the Big 12 as an example, you're a conference that essentially gave up on Oklahoma and Texas and, let them out early for a fee, and then picked up the scraps of the Pac-12, which hasn't really worked out for you. I mean, yeah, the expansion was fine, but if you really look at like how the additions and subtractions have worked out, it's worked out a million times better for the SEC than it has for the Big 12. And that's where I struggle to think that the Big 12 or the ACC would ever have an actual say, that they're very much along for the ride. And I think that's why you get the narrative of, hey, there's, two conferences and everybody else, because that's kind of what it is. I mean, bless Brett Yormark's heart, but the guy doesn't have the kind of say in the room that I think he would need to be able to affect change at a level that actually helps the Big 12. Like, they can roll out cool floors and they can be creative in their marketing department as a conference, and they can do a lot of this stuff. But until you start winning and you start beating the SEC and the Big 10 on a regular basis, you just don't have the kind of power in the room that I think anyone's desiring. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I think and you listen to Greg Sankey talk about this stuff. And I know every time we talk about the SEC, or we talk about Greg Sankey, or we play a bite of Greg Sankey talking about how amazing he is, you guys tend to crap yourselves with frustration and talk about how he's Satan and he's in our pocket and
waves in opposition.
Seriously, you clearly do not have to like Greg Sankey, but I think you have to respect him. I don't see it. How you look at what Greg Sankey's done for the SEC and the success that they have had monetarily, that clearly you're not winning the national championship of college basketball, even though Florida won last year. You are not winning the national championship in college football. The Big Ten's won that back-to-back years. But I don't think there's any doubt that when we talk about who truly controls the future of college football, I think it's Greg Sankey.
We've built something really special. I'd be fine if every other institution and every other conference stayed right where they are. I think we've built something with our 16 members that, again, I'll reference yesterday, the game between South Carolina and Texas in Greenville, South Carolina, with a full arena. It wasn't that way when we first went to Greenville in 2005, or even when we started there on our current agreements. And we'll see the kind of excitement again in Nashville. The TV, the media interest in our games is spectacular. I think you need relationships. You always want to be compared, and you want to be competing against the best on a national level. And we've taken what has been historically a regional sport, in college football in particular, or college sports broadly, used the platform of a great region in our 12 states and elevated the interest to a national level.
Well, what has he said there that is wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything there that's factually wrong. I think the problem for the SEC right now is that you have this dynamic at play where publicly it looks like the Big Ten is kind of running things right now, right? Because of the success that they've had on the court and on the field. And it's essentially undeniable, what the Big Ten's done recently. But privately, behind closed doors and, in boardrooms and where decisions are actually made, Greg is the guy. And I understand that maybe his conference hasn't been winning at the highest levels the last couple of years in football. But like you said, I mean, it's not like they've fallen off in basketball. This year obviously was a rough turnout for them. No question about it. You get 10 teams in and you're not competing for a national championship. But I just think it's hard to deny that when you look at the last 10 years and you look at, who's been the dominant voice, it has been Greg. And I understand that Big Ten fan so desperately wants it to be, in yesteryear, Kevin Warren, and in current day, Tony Petitti. But isn't that precisely the issue for you in the conference? Isn't that the problem? Is that you haven't had consistent leadership in this conference. And
Yes.
it's not just at the top, right? I mean, if you look at the layers of a conference, you've got obviously the commissioner of a conference, Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey. But then if you start to go, into the depths of the conference, you've got your chancellors, your presidents, your ADs, your head coaches. You have layers of management there. And the problem is that while, yes, Ohio State has been consistent with Ryan Day.
Ohio State, please.
State has been consistent with Ryan Day. Michigan has obviously gone through a couple of coaches. You've got other brands in the conference who aren't necessarily competitive, and so they've gone through coaches. So it's just this thing where the Big Ten's always trifling, always going through new personalities and new leadership. And if tomorrow it came out that Tony Petitti was being replaced or something, I wouldn't really be that shocked. Like, it wouldn't be some just incredible shock to the system, because that's kind of who the Big Ten has been.
But depending on can you imagine if Tony Petitti was replaced with, I don't know, a real commissioner? And I think that's going to be tough to do, to herd all the cats in the Big Ten, because there's a lot of division in that conference. But if you found a power player in that conference, if you found somebody that had universal respect to sit at the top of that totem pole, I think the Big Ten would be the dominant conference in all of college athletics. My belief is that Tony Petitti holds the Big Ten back. I think he is not a unifier. I think Tony Petitti is not somebody that has all of his ducks in a row. Like, you look at Brett Yormark, you could say a lot of things about what the Big 12 is not doing and their relevance. And okay, and I'm even down with you on that. The Big 12 has relevance issues. There's no question. What is not in question is that Brett Yormark is, I think, one of the most dominant leaders in all of college athletics. He has a plan. He has a focus. He knows what he's trying to accomplish. Now, you're stuck with scumbags like Baylor, who don't want to win anything and just, keep muddling along. You're stuck with terrible leadership at places like Oklahoma State, which needs to be a bedrock, a foundational institution in this conference, and it is a laughing stock. But I think at the end of the day, Brett Yormark is a phenomenal leader, and he just does not have the horses that a guy like Greg Sankey has. Because you and I both know that Alabama, that the Georgias of the world, that the Ole Misses of the world, that LSU, look at the money LSU is spending, right? Look at the money LSU is spending right now. You're telling me they're not trying to win every single rep of single sport that they're playing? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you think LSU isn't out for everything. Yet, who in the Big 12 is out for everything? Oh, I know, Texas Tech and BYU. And who's had the best 2-year run here? Well, Texas Tech and BYU. And who's going to have the best run for the next 2 years? Texas Tech and BYU. Why? They're spending money. They're recruiting at a very high level. And they're winning games. They're like, you look at even BYU basketball with AJ DeBanza. You're about to have the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. You have the number 1 recruit coming in behind AJ DeBanza, who was the number 1 recruit. You have a dominant NIL booster in Ryan Smith, and we're going to talk about AJ in the draft here in a while. But he played it at Utah Prep. He played at BYU, and now he's likely going to end up with the Jazz. It's a pipeline. That's how programs are being built now. And you look at the SEC, and I would say Ohio State, Indiana clearly now has kind of figured out the code. We'll see how long they're willing to spend.
Ohio State.
And what their profit and loss sheet looks like. But this is not rocket science. You are willing to invest, and you are willing to spend, and you acquire talent, or you do not.
Yeah, and that desire is I think what defines college football at every level. I mean, I think that the ACC and the Big 12 have shown an inability or a lack of desire to want to do that. And again, I think that there are multiple, prime examples of this. The UNC situation with Hubert, I think, let's see who you hire, right? Who you hire tells me everything I need to know about your desire to actually go out and win in modern day college basketball. Just the same way I look at again, Dave Aranda or whoever you want to look at in the Big 12 and what they have going on. And the other thing too is is I always hear this narrative about, oh, well, TV networks and network executives and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, dude, the network executives are just doing deals with conferences. They're not the ones that are deciding whether these schools actually spend money or take the money they're earning and repurpose it for a proper cause or any of that. The TV distribution excuse that everyone likes to use, to me, is just that. It's an excuse. Like, the reality is that the Big 12 is making a reasonable enough amount of money, and these schools just don't want to invest. And the problem is it's like that classic case in life where Brett's trying to get him to do something and they just won't do it. And the issue for the conference as a whole is now you've got too many that aren't doing it. You look at, again, you just like you were saying, BYU and Tech, but look at, like, those are like the kids who sit at the front of the class and do all their homework and are serious about it and, actually care about the relationship they have with their teacher. Then you've got like Oklahoma State and Baylor and K-State and Tech, TCU. I would even contend Iowa State in football. I'm not really sure what that's going to look like. Not sure which path they're going to take. So, like, you've got like 5 or 6 brands here who are just like massive, like biggest Sharpie you can find question marks in the conference at this stage. And I would even throw Utah into that one, right? With the drama and what's going on there. I mean, we don't even know how that's going to play out. So I just don't know how anybody gets to a place where they're like, yeah, Greg's not the guy leading the way forward. Tony's kind of an excuse as a commissioner, and the ACC and the Big 12 don't win enough at all, really, outside of like 1 or 2 teams in their conference.
Yeah, but nobody wants to live in reality. What fun is living in reality, right? Like, that's
well, it's a lot of fun if you're the SEC.
Well, certainly, but the dream that is Notre Dame winning a national championship. The reason we're talking about this today, by the way, is because the odds to win the college football playoff next year are out. And are any of us really surprised? Is anybody really surprised? Because I am not. This is exactly what you thought it would be. Go to the bottom. Bama, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, rather. I said TCU. My apologies.
Careful.
You just had a stroke when I said that. Texas Tech, the only Big 12 representative, right? Miami, ACC. LSU, Georgia, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Indiana, and Ohio State. Now, these are all numbers to make you spend money, and I totally get that. But who really thinks outside of this group? Couple of teams that could contend? Sure. The national champion, and you remember this is March 31st. The national champion will come off this list, in my opinion. And who's really going to argue that? Because you can't pull like the number 2 team in the Big 12, BYU. Are you telling me DJ Lagway is going to somehow get out of here? Right, Texas Tech, and Brendan, I don't pay my debts, Sorsby. He's going to be very good at Texas Tech. Pay that man his money. Well, they did.
Brendan, I don't pay my debts. Sorsby, bro.
Pay that man his money.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Chick.
Has he paid Cincinnati yet that I'm unaware of?
Dude, Cody Campbell sitting up there yesterday talking about $20 million deficits and won't pay Buddy's tab from Cincinnati.
He's a West Texas
dude.
He's a West Texas oil man.
Dude, it's incredible.
You know what I'm going to say. I watch Landman. I know how much money them oil boys got. And I agree with you. Listen, Cody Campbell's a really interesting figure in this conversation because he is Texas Tech, much like Ryan Smith is BYU.
Average budget deficit in FBS among those 136 schools is $20 million per school per year.
Wow.
So completely unsustainable. In order to help pay for football, because football and men's basketball are the only ones that make any money, the money that those two sports make go to pay for the women's sports and the Olympic sports. And so what schools, unfortunately, are having to do is make the decision. They say, well, we have to protect our cash cow. We also have to protect the sport that gives us the exposure that we need to attract students, and it's our advertising. So we have to be as competitive as possible in football, so we have to give them all the resources they need. Well, in order to do that, we're going to have to free up budget space, and so they start making the decision to cut sports, and it's all the non-revenue sports. It's track, it's baseball, it's softball, it's swimming, it's gymnastics, it's soccer, things like that matter to a lot of people and provide opportunity to a lot of kids and are very important to the country, but if you're just running an athletic department purely like a business, you're going to cut them. That is the biggest challenge that we face, is solving that business problem.
Yeah. And how do you do that? You form a new entity. And Cody Campbell's got a seat at the table with Donnie. And how important is Cody Campbell to Donnie when we have $4 gas prices this morning? All right, you guys saw that our gas prices on average nationally are over $4 now. A guy like Cody Campbell has immense leverage. Immense leverage. Now, does he use that gas conversation to fix college football? I hope not. I doubt it. But you get my point.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's this question. I almost hesitate to ask this question. I almost hesitate to bring this up.
Come on, dude.
Because you guys, listen, I don't like seeing you guys cry this early in the morning.
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
Right? I don't like the anger and the vitriol that is inevitable to flow when I bring up the fact that Notre Dame doesn't need to join a conference. See, and your butthole just puckered. And I understand the tightness.
It's disgusting.
Right? Like, I get it. But I think this is a real question. What role should Notre Dame play in the future of college football? And I think it's significant, because you start looking at the ranks of the recruiting classes. And again, who's really surprised by the fact that the national champion will come off this list?
Oh.
But who's developing football players better than Notre Dame right now? You can say it. Nobody.
God's name, image, and likeness.
From what I understand, Jesus has a 3D that nobody's ever seen it. I hope Bavacqua's not on that list. But the point is, nobody's developing football players the way Notre Dame is right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're all complaining about Notre Dame and USC's rivalry being dead. It looks like the rivalry is alive and well, bro. I'm still waiting for Lincoln to actually win anything, but it looks like he can still recruit, so that's good to see.
And he's a great example of this. You look at this list, right? Number 2, USC. Notre Dame, number 1. USC, number 2. Texas A&M, phenomenal year last year. Is there anybody who would argue that Texas A&M had a truly big year at number 3? No. Georgia, Miami, Ohio State, throat slammer, Texas Longhorns.
Slammer.
Yeah, your guy.
Erroneous on both counts.
You're a huge dude. You moved to Eugene, Oregon to be closer to Dan Lanning.
In the new stadium IPF project, I mean, it really just gets me going every day, dude.
Did you send James those pictures yet?
No, because there's nothing to see. It's a dirt field, brother. What am I going to send you, dude?
I love it. All right, you guys, let's get into it. Yeah, $4 gas, try 550. Yay!
Yeah, I didn't want to be
taxes.
Negative, dude. I didn't want to be, accused like last week of being a curmudgeon and being in a bad mood. I didn't want to say that, dude. I didn't want to be that guy today, but it is, and this is how it works with everything, right? The national average is $4, but where I live, we're getting piped at the tune of like $4.80 or $5 right now. So,
bro, who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm aware.
Who are you talking? I live in flipping Seattle.
Yeah, I know.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I live in Seattle. And I only buy gas at Costco. Right? I mean,
money.
according to the New York Times 4 hours ago, the average price of gasoline in the U.S. is now more than $4 a gallon, the first time it's reached that level since 2022. I mean, it's wild to me. I just don't, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We can just sit here and we can go back and forth. And again, what's amazing is I just don't know how in this day and age we fix it. Right? And again, I say when we're over $4 a gallon, this is our escape talking college football, right?
U.S. Americans.
I think it is. Matchup throwdown. Jake is just Stadium James West.
No. I am not Stadium James West, and don't even blacklist me like that, bro.
That is so good.
Dude, no. Hell no.
I would love $4 a gallon gas too. What is the average price of gas where you guys are at?
I'm Jimmy, happy where do you even live, dude? Where are you a Texas guy? Where do you live, dude?
Gas price is oh my God. Kick me in the balls. Oh my God. The average, I can't even say this out loud. Bruh. The average price of gas in King County, it's $5.63 in King County. You got to be kidding me. $5.63. The man is getting paid today. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like AAA, their site where they just break it down by state.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at.
Like, dude, it's so clear. And this is just, by the way, this is just regular. This isn't even Beamer gas. This isn't even 91, dude. This is just regular old 87, low quality material. It's so clear when you filter it by lowest to highest that if you're in the middle of the country, it's a little bit less, but still expensive. If you're on the coast, you're paying like an ass load more, dude. Like, look at that, dude. Like, what are we supposed to do with this, dude? What are residents of this state, Washington, supposed to do with this, bro? Like, what is this? Like, come on, man.
I don't even know. Oklahoma.
Like, holy crap.
Oklahoma has the lowest average national gas.
Like, we were in California over the weekend, and we're seeing like $6.80 for gas, dude. Like, what?
Man, yeah, it's stupidly expensive right now.
This is fucking America.
Yes, it is. It's a little cheaper in South King County where I'm at. I found a place that's $5.09 and I was thrilled.
Oh,
what is
well,
Costco
man,
today?
$5.09, bro. Like, dude.
Gas price. I wonder what Costco gas is right now.
It's got to be like $4.50 for like what? Like, you're saying most of the gas stations are over $5, right? By you?
Yeah, Angel of Winds fuel in Arlington, Washington has the lowest gas prices in the Seattle area at $4.65.
Dude.
Some place called River Rock Tobacco in Arlington, $4.65. Costco, Marysville, $4.69. Jeez. Bro, this is wild how expensive this. I mean, I have to drive up to Marysville to get cheap gas.
I don't even know where Marysville is, dude.
About an hour. No, it's above. Marysville is like, I think it's Everett and then Marysville. So it's far north of Seattle.
Yeah.
Bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. And if you guys want to find, I should tell you, if you guys want to find cheap Gas Buddy, I think it's called gasbuddy.com. and I think they have an app. I used to use it. Wonder how much money are taxes paid for Apache attack helicopters to visit Kid Rock. Yeah, did you guys see that? Ooh.
Everybody needs to get a life, bro.
Hey, what's up, Phil? Good to see you, buddy. We're about 390. Yeah, if you guys are in Colorado and Utah, you're about to get hammered with snow, by the way. So let me get this right. You were at 79 last weekend. And now it's going to be 26 in snow this week.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's reaction, dude.
You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. Welcome to the nightmare. Gas Buddy does have an app. Gas Buddy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you guys are not using Gas Buddy, you're crazy. Because I think it makes a big difference. And this is where I should say, this is where we're going to pay through the nose for driving a twin turbo V6. Because we call that 92. We can only put premium gas in there. Might have to drive to Humptilips or Nooksack for gas.
Okay, if you're the 3 people that live in, quote, Nooksack, I would want to know what goes on in that town, bro. Like,
You know,
That downstairs kitty cat is not yours to have, okay?
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Everything all at once. Things are not good. Yeah. That's why we talk sports, right? What do you guys think, again, and here's the question in the comments section. Who's winning the national championship of college football? It's got to be Notre Dame. I think it's Notre Dame or bust. I don't even know. Ohio State with Julian Sands going to be there. What about Michigan? Because Witt said something the other day that I thought was pretty interesting. He did an interview with On3. Listen to what he says about Bryce Underwood.
He kind of reminds me of Cam Newton, which I didn't have a chance to coach or be around. But as far as, his charisma, his stature, big dude, 6'4 plus, 230 pounds, live arm, great athlete, flashes that smile a lot like Cam did. And so that's probably the guy that comes to mind mostly. But no, the quarterbacks we've had haven't had anybody that is quite of this skill set.
So you just compared Bryce Underwood to Cam Newton, who, no matter what you think of Scam and his folks at Auburn, Buddy was pretty good at college football. Funny, I don't see Michigan on this list. Should Michigan be considered a contender to win a national championship?
not yet. No, absolutely not. I mean, I think
absolutely not.
Yeah, not yet. You got to, it's your first season under Witt. I think you have to establish what level the program is at in year one. Meaning if Witt, takes this program and is a 10-game winner, then people will be like, okay, cool. Witt still got it. Everything feels good. The program's in a good place. Michigan's for real. Okay, great. But I think that the reason they're not here in the offseason is because nobody knows what this program's actually going to be. And I have to say, hearing Witt say things like, bro is the second coming of Cam Newton. I'm not sure that with all due respect, because obviously I love Witt and, he's a phenomenal head coach. There's no question about that. But the quarterback position has been his Achilles heel over the years. We all know that. So I'm not really sure that I'm like, yeah, man, that's a great comp. I agree that the guy can run. I agree that his throwing mechanics are ass by modern day comparison. And Cam Newton was a better runner than he was a thrower in his college days, without a doubt. But I just think that the offense is going to be the big question mark at Michigan. The defense, I think, is going to be witchcraft. I think that the Michigan defense will be that defense under Jay Hill, assuming that he doesn't get involved with more female reporters, will be one of the best defenses in the country, and will make, you know, V's life very difficult. Will be able to, you know, suffocate Oregon, if you will. Curious what they do against Indiana. Like, they're going to be right there defensively, but offensively, I think is where you have the biggest question marks, and Bryce is the spearhead of that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. I mean, this makes a lot of sense to me. This list right here makes a lot of sense to me.
I'm a little bit surprised, frankly, that LSU isn't a little bit higher. I thought LSU would be like third or fourth on the list. You know, if you look at the top four. Well, I know it's a lot of hype, but this is my point. Like, look at this list, dude. So the only teams on here that are not a lot of hype, as you put it, in my opinion, are the top three. I think you can legitimately say Ohio State, Indiana, and Notre Dame are legitimate programs that on a piece of paper and based on what you're seeing out of them, you're like, yeah, those three are going to be a problem this year. No question about it. Texas, I think, has proving to do. What does Arch look like? Where's the program at? Every year we hear that Texas is amazing.
What's Texas's defense look like with Muschamp?
Yeah. What does that look like? I think that's a big question. No question about it. So, you know, so then you look at the list and you're like, all right, well, Oregon's a CFP team, but, you know, who can they really be? You know, how's he going to backfill the coordinators? They're probably going to take a step back, you know, and I'm sure we all know what you're going to say already, so we don't need your comment on Oregon. Georgia is Georgia. Let's see how many tickets they get before the season starts. That'll tell you if they're going to win a national championship. And then you have LSU sitting there with you know, the Kim Mulkey, you know, sadness train after getting bounced by Duke. And you're like, yeah, they seem a little low on the list, dude. Like, this is Lane Train, this is Lane Kiffin, you know, shouldn't these guys be higher? So I'll be curious to see if LSU gets more favorability from the boys in Vegas as the season gets closer.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, let's get your comments. You guys see the list. Who do you think is going to win the national championship? I'm excited. This should draw some, well, I was going to say this should draw some delusion. The resident TCU fan has spoken.
At least with you, dude, and this is what I respect about you, Dave. At least with you, you're an actual TCU fan. So I can be fine with you spitting delusional ass takes like TCU's going to be in the CFP. I can get down to that because you're a legitimate fan.
It's on the record. You heard it here
Monty,
first.
I put a YouTube video out yesterday. It's on the record, and now I'm in your comment section bringing it to you live.
FTR.
Yeah.
You know. Listen, you know, you do you. You know. I think it's going to be. I would love TCU. What's the right way to say this? I think the state of Texas has to be foundational for the Big 12, and it just has not been. It has not been. Baylor's ass. TCU. And then you have Texas Tech, and Texas Tech has to go further. No. What?
The disrespect is so awesome. Just that we can flatly and plainly say, Baylor's ass. You know, so we'll move on.
They are. Guys, have you seen DJ Lagway throwing a football?
Have you seen DJ Lagway slurping Dave Aranda, bro? Did you see the Dave Aranda bite about, oh, this is the most money we've spent in I don't know how long, man. And the fact that I don't have to be a head coach and a coordinator is pretty amazing. I don't have to be a robot anymore. It's incredible.
I think one of the biggest things that I found freeing was not being the head coach and the DC really allowed us to have, spend more money on defense. This is the most money we've spent on defense since I've been here. And so I think one of the things that held me back being on defense and also being the head coach was that, I didn't want it to overload that side of the ball. And then you come back and you look at it and we didn't do enough. We should have done a whole lot more on the line of scrimmage, and we made sure that we did this time, as well as our linebacker and secondary. So I think, whereas in the past, the money was, you look at last year, the majority of the money of our team was spent on the receiver room, almost way too much, to be honest. And so that money is now spent on defense. And I felt it freeing to not be in a position where I could just say, Joe, we're going to get you everything you need.
Shouldn't he be fired just for saying that?
What, dude?
So
What?
I'm the head coach, but I'm known as a defensive guy, and I didn't want the perception to be that I was putting all the money into the defense.
Oh.
Win football games, dick. Like, win football games. What do you mean perception? Put the money in the defense. Well, I don't want people to think that I just spend money on defense. Everybody spends money on defense.
Better send those refunds.
You have to, tackle. You have to tackle.
It's
to
tackle
win
football, Dave.
and stuff. And so you don't care about perception anymore. Well, I didn't want to spend too much on the defense because I'm a defensive guy. But now I've spent so much money on defense. That's because I'm a defensive guy. And then your quarterback can't throw.
He leads by example, And one thing that really stood out to me was the way, and we were in January. Usually the coaches they all gone and they be away. But in the mornings, lifts. We got lifts at 7:00. He's in the locker room with us, talking, and that was kind of different to me. So the way he's hands on with the guys, man, that means a lot to me and the guys as well. And just the way he really wants us to connect, and I love that. Even little things we have mandatory sit down, eat dinner, and breakfast, and I feel like that's huge. And for him to push that goes a long way. So that just shows the type of leader he is and the type of things he preaches.
So you have to eat breakfast and dinner in a football program. This is groundbreaking shit right here. You're there. Wait a minute. Your head coach is mandating that you eat food. Wow.
Bro showed up at the weight room and in the meeting room, and DJ Lagway is like, oh my God, dude, best coach we've ever seen. I just can't understand how other coaches don't show up. It's incredible, dude. What?
What were they doing at Florida? Well, you guys don't have to eat if you don't want to. What do you mean? Oh, do you guys feel like lifting weights today? Nah, let's go to the beach. Okay, cool. What were you doing, Napes? What were you doing at Florida that DJ Lagway is impressed when his head coach shows up in the weight room? And then they mandate that you actually take in calories. This is groundbreaking stuff.
This is a tasty burger.
And am I the only one who thinks Dave Aranda, and I shouldn't say this name, but am I the only one who thinks Dave Aranda looks like Department of Warhead guy?
I think one of the biggest things that I found freeing was not being the head coach and the DC. Really allowed us to have spend more money on defense. This is the most money we've spent on defense since I've been here. And so I think one of the things that held me back being on defense and also being the head coach was that I didn't want it to overload that side of the ball, and then you come back and you look at it and we didn't do enough.
I didn't want people to think bad of me, so I did what I caved.
So now I have to unfortunately be like, okay, let's turn the channel and compare the narrative at Baylor to what we're getting out of the old Siginator at Indiana.
Oh, and then there's you love. Okay, do you like or hate? Do you like or hate Kirk Cignetti?
I'm not a huge Kirk Cignetti guy. Okay. I'm not, but I have to say this level of red assery out of a head coach over something as minutia as the color of Bro's cleats is truly incredible.
I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today. He learned what getting your ass ripped is all about. I don't know if that happened very often in Michigan State. That was before practice started. That was a wake-up call. But no, he's really worked hard. Done a great job for us.
Dude, your best receiver comes out of the room in gold cleats before practice to get warmed up, and he's
that's
dude,
not even the bite. That's not even the bite. That is he talked about he found out what it was like to get his ass chewed. And Kirk should not eat. Has he murdered people?
I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today. He learned what getting your ass ripped is all about.
He's murdered people.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
He's murdered people.
I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today. He learned what getting your ass ripped is all about.
I win. Google me.
Look at his eyes. Look at his... He stares through you.
I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today.
How do you blink, sir?
Can we talk about the buzz cut he's rocking as well? Look at
I didn't love those gold shoes he came out in today.
Like,
bro
went to the barber and was like, "Yeah, give me a little fade, but I just want you to buzz this thing off. I don't even need any hair up there, man. It's totally fine."
I'm scared.
So wait a minute. So we're
I'm scared.
celebrating Dave showing up to the weight room in Waco, but in Indiana land, it's not good enough just to have cleats on. They damn well better be the right color, or you're gonna quote learn what it's like to get your ass chewed. Like, dude.
I mean, yeah, Morgan Scally is. He's not in the serial killer union, dude. He's in the I look like Joker. There's no way to get around that.
Me?
You know, I mean, yeah, it scares me. It does. He does look like Hegseth without hair.
He does.
Right? Dave Aranda.
Yes.
David, look at the eyebrows. Check out the eyebrows on the wolf.
I think one of the biggest things that I found freeing was not being the head coach and the DC really allowed us to have spend more money on defense. This is the most money we've spent on defense since I've been here. And so I think one of the things that held me back being on defense and also being the head coach was that, I didn't want it to overload that side of the ball. And then you come back and you look at it and we didn't do enough. We should have done a whole lot more on the line of scrimmage, and we made sure that we did this time, as well as our linebacker and secondary. So I think, whereas in the past, the money was, you look at last year, the majority of the money of our team was spent on the receiver room, almost way too much, to be honest. And so that money is now spent on defense. And I felt it freeing to not be in a position where I could just say, Joe, we're going to get you everything you need.
Like, dude,
That's why when people are like, oh, dude, man, Baylor, they're on the way.
They're back, Monty. Baylor's back, dude.
Holy shit, they're Baylor. Man. No, they're not back. I mean, Dave's back, so they're not back.
We keeping a boat now we ass.
It is just this conference. It hurts my groin. Indiana has to be an odds-on fave after what Cignetti did, putting that roster together and coaching it to success so quickly and effectively. Georgia is my next pick to win it all, though. Okay. I don't know how you pick against Notre Dame. Honestly, and I'm not even being biased. Yes, I am. I'm not even being...
green shirt, dude.
This is a black shirt. But the point is, you can't tell me that... Give Lagway the right glasses and he's Urkel. Very much could be. Very, very, very much could be.
He leads by example, and one thing that really, really stood out to me was the way, and we were in January, usually the coaches, they all gone and, they be away, but in the mornings, we got lifts at 7 o'clock. He's in the locker room with us talking.
Yeah, I mean, impressive. The coach, showed up for work. What? Yes, 3-ball James. My favorite team, Baylor, is back. It's hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. Matt Muldoon. Rutgers non-con schedule is UMass, Boston College, and Howard. Yeah, big time games.
Oh, man, wow.
National TV,
don't know what we would do without those matchups.
Coach Pyle going full metal Lagway. Yeah. Right? Yeah, Washington State will be the G6 representative. Okay. I would love that for Coug fans because it's been a tough run.
Yeah.
PNW football has not been good. This is, we all know what Washington's been through. You know, the quarterback leaving, coming back, and everybody hates him, stuff, Damon, and things. I think Miami and Notre Dame will play twice next year, once in South Bend and once for the Natty.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rock,
Darian Mensa, bro.
do you like what you've seen so far? Because I don't love the offseason program so far. I really don't. I don't love. I thought you would be far more productive. Mensa is a huge get. Now you had lawsuits and, you know, I don't love what I have seen out of the program this offseason. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong. I'm never wrong, and I'm good looking, so that doesn't happen much. But if you look at the schedule, I mean, there's not a lot to hate about their schedule. Obviously, I guess the spring game is 2 weeks away on the 18th, but you're at Stanford, Florida A&M. They're the Rattlers. At Wake Forest, Central Michigan, the Chippewas.
Oh, we all know Central Michigan. Nice, dude.
Family.
Clemson, at Clemson. Florida State, Pitt, at North Carolina, at the beloved Notre Dame. Duke, Virginia Tech, BC, and then you're going to win the ACC championship game. That's a really soft schedule for Miami. And I really hope, and again, this is just me, I really hope that this is not a letdown year for Mario. Because it does feel like that is very possible. Because that schedule is just so easy. That schedule is...
Yeah.
Right? It's so easy.
It's not hard. Yeah, it's easy, bro.
Very easy. And I think it is going to be interesting to see how Mensa steps up. Because I think he's a huge step up from Carson Beck. And I not to get crazy, but if you had Mensa this past season, would you have won the national championship?
I mean, certainly it would have been closer, but I'm not. Indiana was very good, man. Like,
yeah. But I'm very curious if you can push yourself offensively into the upper echelon of college football. That's a question, because with Mensa, what's the top end of the offense? 35 points a game? On that schedule, shouldn't you average 35 points of offense a game?
Yeah. I mean, against ass ACC competition, yeah, probably 30, 35 points. Yeah. I mean, that's against legitimate CFP contenders. I don't know. I mean, I like to think you could score 3 touchdowns a game against a legitimate CFP, caliber football team. But
you also are losing Mesidor and Bain. You obviously lost leadership in Carson Beck, but I think Mensa's huge. Now, I also think that Mario's done a fairly decent job of recruiting. Now it's just going to be a matter of you got to develop players, you got to portal well, and you better win the ACC this year. You have to. Well, Dabo doesn't like spending money. That's the perception. Is that reality? I mean, it'll play out. Yeah, what about Nebraska?
Tampering.
Is Matt Rule at Nebraska a disappointment?
Yes.
Is it Matt Rule or is it Nebraska?
Probably Nebraska, but again, we don't know.
Does Matt Rule get fired if they don't go to the playoff?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Probably
that
not.
Would feel harsh. Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't think so.
Dabo, too stubborn and old, and has not embraced what it takes to change a new NIL college football landscape.
Tampering
totally
101.
Texas State is looking to move up to 6th best team in Texas.
Oh, okay. I hear their coach shows up for off-season workouts as well.
But does he make them eat?
I don't know, dude.
If Witt wins 9 games, is cheating in a playoff team? That's a very interesting question. Probably not.
No. Nope.
Probably not.
The Big Ten. 9 ain't getting it done. But I know you did, Brandon, but if you look at this last year, 9 wins wasn't even close to enough. You had to be, you typically needed to be, 10 was like borderline, but 11 really did the job for you. And at 10 wins, strength of schedule was coming into play big time.
Because 9 wins doesn't put you in the conference championship game.
No.
So
they would just be an at-large,
And this is kind of the advantage of being in the Big Ten. Again, Matt Rule at Nebraska. Right? I mean, this is a guy that has underachieved.
Yeah, and he just got that extension. So,
Well, yeah, because he was allegedly going to Penn State.
Well, but my point is, when you ask if he's getting fired, probably not.
Well, but that's my point. It's complacency. It's complacency. You're fine. You're good enough. But now you don't have Patty Mahomes light anymore. Chubb's moved on. So now I feel like there's more pressure. Right? But I don't know. I just think the Big Ten is still not deep. Michigan's clearly better. If Lincoln Riley doesn't win at USC this year, I don't know when he'll never win there. He has got so much depth at USC. If you're not going to win now, are you ever going to win? And the answer is no, probably not. Probably not. But, and it should go without saying, like, who am I to say? I mean, Marcus has had tons of talent. Now, he did go to the college football playoff, thankfully. But we'll see. I don't pretend to be Mr. Negative on USC, as you guys are well aware. I'm a big believer that if you have talent at USC, you should win. And he's got an ass load of talent. Lincoln does. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
He's
got to prove it.
He does have to prove it. Matt Rule just got an extension and a pay raise for doing Jack. He did, because Penn State was going to hire him. Penn State got a lot of dudes paid. Matt Rule not getting fired. He just got an extension. That said, he's done a pretty mediocre job. Penn State fans rejoiced he didn't come there. Yeah, maybe. Are you excited about Matt Campbell, though? Your 19th choice to be the head coach?
I'm not.
He's going to do a very good job there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough for him not to succeed because you have that new facility, that new stadium that Oak State James never told us about. Beaver, you're still in a Nowhereville, USA college town.
Come on, dude.
So, didn't Nebraska just give Matt Rule a contract extension? Yes. David Persons, the resident TCU fan. Who besides TCU are Big 12 college football playoff teams?
Texas Tech, that's it. And TCU's not going to the CFP. Nice try, though.
So do you really believe that TCU is on par with a BYU? Do you really buy into that? Because I still maintain, as much as Jake hates Bear Bachmeier, I think the guy's going to be a Heisman contender this year. The transformation, did you guys, and I know we showed the picture 100 times, his body, his mechanics, I'd smash.
Dude, you need to chill out with Bear Bachmeier, dude. Bro. Dude.
I'm a big believer in what I've seen on tape of him at spring ball. It's just, he's not the same guy.
Bro, saying he's going to be a Heisman contender. Okay,
I think he will.
Let's let Buddy do it in a game first, and then we can start talking about Heisman trophies.
He did it in a game, in the games last year.
No, he didn't.
What do you mean? No, he didn't.
He is the reason they were not competitive against Tech's defense, dude. He was not able.
I don't disagree with that, but how many Tech defenses are in the conference?
Yeah, I guess, dude. I think that you're taking a pretty big leap. I think he's going to improve. His mechanics are better. Clearly, he's got another year of body development under him. But I think when you start talking about Heisman contenders, you're talking about him competing with the best of the best in college football. You're talking about him competing with Julian Sayin, Arch Manning. I don't have that level of confidence yet. He that's a whole different level of quarterbacking.
Yeah, I think when I look at the fact that he was what? Sawyer Robertson was 1. Josh, I suck. Sonny hates me. Hoover was 2. Who was 3? Noah Fafita was 3, and Bear Bachmeier was 4. Bear Bachmeier threw for 3,000 yards last year and was not fully capable of doing that. 29 touchdowns and 5-6 interceptions. And he is significantly better today than he was at any point last year. I think there's a real chance he throws for 4,000 yards this year. And if he throws for 4,000 yards, he will be in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy. How is he not? How is he not? And listen, I think there's no question their schedule. Their road games are Kansas, Utah, UCF, TCU, and Colorado State. Bro, their home games are Utah Tech, Arizona, Iowa State, Notre Dame, Arizona State, Baylor, and Cincinnati. They're going to lose one game, and it's to Notre Dame. So you're telling me, and I also think that C.J. Carr will win the Heisman Trophy. C.J. Carr, what did C.J. Carr throw for 2,700 yards last year? 24 touchdowns. C.J. Carr is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. And Bear Bachmeier had better numbers last year. Now, I think CJ's a superior quarterback. And I think Notre Dame has incredible expectations. But I would expect CJ Carr to have a monster year. I think Bear Bachmeier is going to... The leap, you don't often see guys take big jumps, statistically, production-wise. I think you're going to see that from Bear Bachmeier. I think CJ Carr has a chance to throw, because I think Notre Dame will put up 40 points a game. I mean, the wide receiver room at Notre Dame, I don't ever remember Notre Dame having this many wide receivers that are ones on pretty much every team they want to play for. We have got wide receivers. We have got tight ends for days. And our offensive line is sweating their balls on your face. Notre Dame is going to hurt people. And I think CJ is going to have a massive year. All things being equal, he stays healthy,
Yeah, maybe so, dude. Maybe so. It'll all be decided on the field, dude. It's the great equalizer. There's a lot of, oh, it's Lincoln's year. There's a lot of Texas is back. There's a lot of, a lot of the classic college football hype.
And none of them have the talent, the depth, or the coaching ability and development ability. Because I can rip Marcus Freeman for a lot of things. Not being able to put 11 guys on the field consistently against Ohio State, could have happened to anybody, including Dave Aranda.
We're not coaching Little League, buddy.
Marcus Freeman recruits and develops football players. He does. Jeremiah Love's the best player in the NFL draft. Jadarian Price, you don't even know who that is. Unbelievable running back. CJ Carr with these wide receivers and this offensive line, they will not lose a game until they lose one that they should win.
They better not, bro.
Notice I put they will not lose a game, comma, until they lose the one they're supposed to win.
Come on, dude.
They are fantastic. They're very talented, I'm telling you. And they're on a mission. Notre Dame always figures out a way to disappoint. Do they, though? You mean when they went to the national championship 2 years ago?
Without a quarterback?
Was that disappointing? Actually, no, I don't think it was. I don't think it was. Last year was a disappointment. With Andy Kotelnicki back at Penn State, Kansas should be better. 6-6 would be better. Oak State's going to be way better, Monty.
What's better for Baylor now that Bro's showing up at practice and they're spending money?
You know, we'll see. Big Daddy Magic just shows up and talks shit with no basis, as usual. Your sad devotion to the Leprechaun University next level, but they're getting their ass. And again, this is the same guy who tells me he hates BYU.
Yeah, you're not a BYU fan, dude. You're the ultimate bandwagoner with BYU.
Big Daddy Magic has gone from a guy who brought positivity and energy and fun to just negative on everything. Got his sweatshirt now. We can just be negative.
But isn't that how life works? Oh, I got what I wanted. So now it's just, all right, cool, man. We're doing what we do.
A huge jump in passing yards could also mean their running game has went downhill and the defense is lacking. BYU's running game is not going downhill. L.J. Martin's the best running back in the Big 12.
Got to stay healthy.
And he did last year. He had a great year last year. So, K-State doesn't play Tech or BYU, so this should be their chance at getting to the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
I think you have a lot of there. You're a long way from that. Right. But there isn't one. Right. Like, I mean, the question was who besides Tech and who besides TCU are Big 12 college football playoff contenders? On paper right now on March 31st, there's not any. It is Texas Tech and BYU. And then nobody else. Because I have to think if you look at the way that this league is shook out, and if you look at the numbers, I mean, why would I think that this league is better this year than it was last year? I mean, that's the hard part that I think, bro, if we look at Texas Tech and BYU are wildly talented. Should I believe that Cincinnati is going to be better? I think that's asking a lot. And I think Arizona is going to be better. I think Arizona State's going to be better. Reed Harris from Boston College makes them better.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question. DJ Lagway is a great example of this. DJ's played a lot of big football games. I mean, he played at Florida in the SEC, and he has not often performed. And the thing that worries me in all seriousness, what does Dave Aranda keep saying about DJ Lagway? Oh, elite thrower of the football. The guy's amazing. Nope, he's not saying that. What's he saying? Oh, he's a great teammate. He's not talking about him throwing the football. Command of the offense. Leadership. He's a great teammate. When your coach is calling you a great teammate and he doesn't talk about but then you have BYU with Cade Ulave from Cal. That kid's a stud, right? That's a real on-field performer in a defense that's already elite, and you added another elite performer there. Is there anybody that you would believe has gotten better defensively in this league besides BYU? I mean, You want to talk about a guy that cracks helmets. BYU is going to be better. I have no idea what to expect out of Cincinnati because I just don't believe that they're going to be better. I don't believe Colorado's a contender. I don't believe like Houston. Should we believe that Houston is ready to go to the Big 12 championship game?
No. Nope.
You know it's not Iowa State. I mean, Dylan Edwards is a nice pickup for Kansas, but I mean, he couldn't cut it at Colorado or K-State. Right? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, as far as K-State goes, I think their defense is going to be better. I think Wendell Gregory from Oak State, huge pickup. Huge pickup. And I think Colin Klein is exactly the breath of fresh air that they needed in Manhattan. I think it's hugely important. Hugely important. And obviously with Oak State, you just need to win a game and people will rejoice and throw parades. But there's no doubt that Drew Mestamaker is a capable quarterback. And I think Eric Morris is a really good addition for the conference. Now, having said that, there's one team in this league who went to Harvard to get their quarterback. I said Harvard.
Harvard.
Jaden Craig at TCU. Okay, good luck with that. Meanwhile, Texas Tech got Brendan Sorsby.
Who the is that guy?
Who doesn't pay his debts. You know. Meanwhile, Alonzo Barrett III. Yeah, Alonzo Barrett III. Alonza. Isn't it Alonza? Go look it up. I think it is Alonza.
Okay.
Goes to UCF. Right? Like, I don't know, man. What about West Virginia? When does West Virginia become a contender? It's an interesting question.
I mean, what's a contender in the Big 12? 7-win team?
Yeah. The bad breath Notre Dame's defense is going to be lit up by BYU. I can't wait to be at this game. I don't ever want to hear you say you're not a BYU fan.
Yeah, I got to tell you, bro, like, I'm not trying to make it personal with you, but this whole fake BYU fan thing is a little tired, bro. Like, you're not a BYU fan. You haven't been. You never will be.
You've gone out of your way to tell us you hate BYU and you hate the Mormons.
Like let's stop faking, dude. Your boy is going to the NBA. Like, get off the BYU bandwagon, dude. You're not a BYU fan. Like, you're just not.
Prov Dave and Prov Big Daddy Magic. I think you mean Provo Dave and Provo Big Daddy Magic. Provo Magic, that's his new name. He's no longer Big Daddy Magic. Provo Magic.
There you go.
Oak State will be so much better. They might win a conference game. So see, exactly. West Virginia will be better, but not enough to contend. I agree. It's going to be Tech and BYU. How upset will you guys be when Notre Dame dominates the entire world? Will that be... Do you guys understand how good it would be for... And this is what I love about being a lifer at Notre Dame. It's inarguable that when Notre Dame is better, college football is bigger. It just means more because Jesus Christ.
It just means more.
I mean, do you understand that they delayed the Last Supper to make sure that they could watch the Notre Dame game?
In God's name, image, and likeness.
You know, I'm telling you. College football is better. Shut up, Jake. Shut up, Jake. College football is better. College football is better when Notre Dame is elite. When Manti Te'o's girlfriend is dead, college football is better.
I'm going to get medieval on your ass.
Right? When Brian Kelly's got guys up in lightning storms on a scissor lift, college football is better.
Family.
Right? When Marcus has 10 guys on the field at the goal line trying to win a game against Ohio State, college football is better. It's better. Notre Dame, I don't want to hear any excuses. Undefeated, national champions, or you can see your ass to the door. Best 10-game stretch anybody's ever seen that nobody saw because you were not a contender. Just telling you. I'm ready.
It's very clear.
I am ready.
Yeah.
BDM is a BYU fan, just like James is a TCU fan. That's exactly right. It annoys me when guys do that. Like when you just want to talk shit for no reason. Like BDM knows nothing about college football. Nothing. But he knows I'm a Notre Dame fan, so all he does is come in here and like, get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, I want to talk about this. This pisses me off. I'm going to be honest with you. It is no secret. I think Stephen A. Smith is a gigantic pile of fraudery.
Done.
Like, I think the guy is brutal, terrible. I do not think he's a significant voice in American sports. I think Stephen A. Smith is a clown. To go on, granted, nobody probably saw it because of where this was aired. To say this about Tiger Woods is pretty ridiculous.
But all I know is this. You had this problem in 2017 when they found you asleep in your car on the side of the road. You had this problem in 2021 when you crashed into a tree and tumbled over and almost got yourself killed. You had this issue again last Friday. All 3 times you're inebriated and you're behind the wheel of a car. Now, I think it's safe to say, Tiger Woods, you can afford car service. I think it's safe to assume the man can afford car service, okay? What the hell are you doing getting behind the wheel of a car? Most of us would be in jail. Remember the second incident in 2021, they didn't charge him. They didn't make him take an alcohol, breathalyzer test. They didn't test his blood, any of that stuff. He was hospitalized. They left him alone. So he's got, in a lot of people's eyes in America, he's gotten away with a lot. And they're sick and tired of it.
Okay, so let's get some things right. Because that was pretty much not right. That was pretty much completely anything but right. The 2021 crash was speed related. I believe they said he was going 87 in a 45, and having driven the exact road where Tiger Woods crashed, I used to live very close to there. It is one of the most dangerous roads in the country. He completely mangled his leg. There were no accusations of a DUI. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. And this idea that he was drunk and DUI, painkiller, 2021 there were no accusations of that.
Right.
So saying that he had this situation is completely false. And I understand people hate Tiger Woods. I understand it. I get it. And Stephen A. Smith clearly hates Tiger Woods. Okay, cool. You do you, bud. Notice where he said this. Did he say this on ESPN? No.
Nope.
No, he didn't. Why didn't he say this on ESPN? Oh, because you actually have to have, facts to say this on Yeah, that's right. When has Tiger Woods been arrested? Well, he hasn't been arrested for DUI in 2021. That's funny. I'm looking at publicly available. Google's an amazing tool, folks. You can go look at his arrest record, right? He is charged with DUI and property damage in this latest incident. But why are we assuming? Right? What happened to the calls for, let it play out, Monty? What happened to those calls? But we're not going to do that. 2017, he was found asleep behind the wheel of his car. That's absolutely true. I think he pled guilty to reckless driving, diversion program. 2017. So let me get this right. We're saying that this guy is a habitual DUI guy because in 2017 and 2020, so 10 years apart. Now, I don't believe that. I think if you're found guilty of DUI once, you should never be able to drive again.
Agreed.
I don't think any of us disagree that Tiger Woods is not a good driver of cars. I think it's hard to argue that. Right? Okay, I'm down with that. But when you go out and you slander a bro and you're like, oh, well, multiple times, 2021, there was never an accusation of DUI in 2021. There was not. So, yeah, it is Stephen A. Smith, to me, is just a disgusting guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that right now he's running his mouth a lot because he's trying to get involved in politics. I think that you know, the issue for me is just that, like, this is one of those topics, man, where, like, you know how we get sometimes in sports, we get those topics where it's high profile figure in some kind of trouble and we all jump on bro. And you know, we all just assume it was alcohol and that he was just like just as irresponsible as it gets, and he's just a terrible guy. And listen, I still stand by what I said before. I think if you're this reckless as a driver and you're like, because that's the minimum here, right? Like, I'm also a big believer in that with sports stores. Like, what's the minimum that we know here? Well, the minimum that we know here is just that he's not a good driver. That's what we know, that you were going too fast, given the situation, given the road you were on, given what was in front of you, you know, that kind of deal. So, like, at a minimum, that's kind of what we know. But it's starting to come out, and this is kind of what your take was, you know, initially when the story came out, that, well, let's see, like, what actually comes out about, like, what the police did and, like, what the law says and, like, what his lawyers are going to do. And so the suits are suiting and yeah, like, what's the probable cause look like? Like, so that whole dynamic is starting to play out, and you're starting to see reporting last night and this morning about how, like, hey, like, you know, if he was detained illegally or whatever, yada, 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 you know, the evidence they got, yada, yada, yada. So it's just, it just, to me, that Stephen A. Smith would come out and take this strong of a stance on it, without knowing exactly what was in Tiger's system and exactly what took place to lead up to that moment, is surprising to me. And I think it does in the stance that yeah, like, Stephen A. Smith is just yet another guy who is looking for opportunities to be in the national spotlight. Meaning, doesn't matter if it's on, you know, if it's on ESPN or if it's on some cable news channel or if it's on his podcast or whatever it might be. This bro's just trying to get out in front of the national spotlight as much as possible. And that's where I say, like, it's not even really about whether I disagree or agree with you. Your takes just aren't credible because I know what you're trying to do. That's the problem here. So that's why I say, like, for Screaming A, it's that's his issue, bro. That's the problem, as I see it.
Yeah, I just don't. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. I can't stand Stephen A. I cannot stand him. It's ridiculous. Tom Dean, serious question: is sleeping in your car illegal? Well, when you're when the motor's running and the car's in gear, and then you plead out because you had multiple painkillers in your system, that's the part that's illegal.
Yeah.
That's the part that's illegal. Stephen A. has turned into Candace Owens and Jason Whitlock on his own podcast to placate the MAGA base. Well, I think he wants to run for president, frankly.
Yeah, I think that Mike, I'm not even saying you're wrong about that, but for me, like, I really do work hard to avoid that sort of sector of talking head. Like, I feel like it's just so, like, bitter, so much vitriol, so much, like, just negativity about what they do that I don't even, like, I haven't consumed Whitlock talk and I don't know how long, bro. I mean, it must
Why
be a
would
decade
you?
at least. Yeah, like, and bro has bounced around and been on different networks and things like that. But like, I just, for me, it's just not my thing. And folks like Candace Owens and these other names, like, it's just not my cup of tea, if you will. And so when you had sent this to me, I was like, yeah, I mean, look who the guy's on with, right? Like, look who hosts the show. Like, the fallout of that dude is incredible. And it's just like all these guys all run in the same circle. And it's why you're seeing this more too. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed that, like, Michelle Tafoya got involved in politics, and like now you've got Screaming A, and so you've got all these personalities that are trying to do this now that Donnie has shown it's possible. And I just think that we have to understand that just because you know how to talk about sports doesn't mean that like what's best for the country or like what would be a good policy. And that's what's challenging, is that I'm not the guy who's like, yeah, wow, you built a credible career in sports talk. That means you instantly know how to do politics. Like that's not how life works, dude. That's never been how life works. So
But do you believe that Tiger Woods is getting special treatment after this latest car accident?
Yeah, if you want to call special treatment getting taken to jail overnight over something that probably shouldn't have been that way, as it based on what we're seeing being reported and based on the defense that his team is rolling out, yeah, I don't think he's getting special treatment. No, I don't. I think, in fact, it's the exact opposite. I think that because it's him and because he has a history with car accidents of sorts, they were like, yeah, dude, we're going full breathalyzer. We're going to take you in. We're going to book you. We're going to take you through the entire rigmarole, if you will.
We're going to sell a bunch of Sunday red polo shirts for you.
Yeah. So, we're going to sell driver head covers. We're going to sell keychains and shirts and all kinds of stuff. Like it's just, I don't think that he's getting special treatment. I think that
in no way, shape, or form is he.
I'll double down on that by saying I think he's got a lot of cojones still playing the Masters, dude. And I don't know how many of you have paid attention to that. Well, he said that he's still practicing, that he was not injured in this accident at all, apparently. So it doesn't seem like it was an incredibly violent situation, if you will. Like, it just seems like, yeah, the car tipped over because of how he drove it, and then he crawled out of the passenger side, and he's, no worse for the wear, really. So he's still listed as in the field. So I think he's got a lot of, if he plays, I think he's got a lot of cojones doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he will or will not play in the Masters. My guess is he will not. But I don't think he's getting special treatment. That's just my opinion. I just don't. What special treatment is he getting?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole special treatment angle is a fabricated angle because he's Tiger Woods. I think talking head guy who's just trying to make a big deal out of this is like, oh, well, he's getting special treatment and he should have been in jail like 10 years ago. And yeah. It's like, actually, no, that's not the case. Yeah, the guy can golf, but that doesn't mean that he's somehow, got any type of special treatment from law enforcement. And by the way, I'd also point out, if you're going to sit here and say that Tiger, is getting special treatment, what's your take on the Scotty situation at the Players, 2 years ago or whatever? Like, are you going to sit here and tell me that he got special treatment?
I've seen people running that out. Do you think so? You don't believe? You think Scotty got special treatment?
No. I'm saying that he didn't get special treatment. Bro got taken to a jail cell or whatever, holding over what amounts to him trying to drive into the tournament. And parking traffic control cops got all pissed off about it. Like, he didn't get special treatment, but the people saying that Tiger got special treatment, that would be my question to you. Then if Tiger's getting special treatment, what was the Scotty thing then? What's your take on that? Because that's one of the most incredible things we've ever seen in professional golf. Dude gets detained and taken in and is making his tee time still. Like, that's the crazy part. So no, I don't think that Tiger's getting special treatment. In fact, I would say that Tiger like people severely discount the weight of the media attention and the world judging you for your mistakes. He's not getting special treatment, dude. He's getting probably what he deserves right now, dude. Like you made a huge mistake here. You're getting criticized for it left and right. And honestly, like, yeah, that's probably the price you deserve to pay for doing what you did.
He doesn't at all. He doesn't at all belong. What's the right way to say it? Tiger Woods does not deserve the benefit of the doubt. I mean, this is a guy that's got a track record. I agree. He's a terrible driver. He obviously the thing that started the end of his marriage, with the golf club and what was it? An Escalade against a fire hydrant. Like, I mean, this is a guy that has a previous DUI that he pled down. He doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt. And I agree with that. But you also can't tell this guy to retire and stop playing golf because you don't like the way he lives his personal life. Right? And I think there's being so much more made about his relationship to a woman with the last name of Trump than nobody would even be talking about his personal life but they are. I don't think he's getting special treatment. I think he's under a microscope.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Agreed.
So that's just me. Delaric, hello. Tiger's special treatment is high-priced lawyers ripping up the charges and looking for anything to get him off. Well, he usually does get off, doesn't he?
Hey, Lindsey Vaughn, how's your leg?
Screaming A has built a brand on generating controversy. Nothing to see there. Well, he certainly has done that. Right? I mean, he's certainly done that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
So,
he has.
Ammon Cox. Hello, Ammon. Good to see you. It's not like the career politicians know how to run the country. I would rather have Stephen A going after fraudsters instead of the uniparty hiding it. No politician goes after fraudsters. I'm not sure he's doing it for political ambitions or just to make money off that political base. I think Stephen A is a scumbag. I don't know why he's doing it. It's annoying to me.
Yeah.
I told Roger to pay me $100K a year and I'll be your personal driver.
Tiger. He meant Tiger.
I told, Tiger. And allegedly, I think TMZ reported yesterday that he doesn't want the scrutiny that comes with a personal driver.
Yeah. And this is, and I'm all jokes aside, you have to understand this about Tiger Woods. And this is something he'll never get away from. He doesn't want a personal driver because, again, as the cool kids call it, Tiger does a lot of what they call side quests, meaning he likes to do a lot of things in his personal time that he does not want a personal driver knowing about or whatever it might be. So the take of, well, he's a billionaire. Why doesn't he have a driver? I agree. He should have a driver, but he doesn't because he does a lot of things in his personal time that are private that he doesn't want anyone else knowing about. So that's the nature of the beast, isn't it, Tiger?
Yeah, I guess I just don't. Always comes back to sex with Tiger, doesn't it?
But that's his own doing, bro. That's his own doing. Like, you did this to yourself, bro.
That he did.
Like, what's the driver supposed to do? So let me get this right. Bro's got a personal driver or whatever, and Tiger wants to run it back with Perkins' girl. What's that look like? Walk me through the logistics. What is he going to get dropped off by, buddy? Like, come on, dude.
No, Buddy's going to park the car and go in and get some biscuits and gravy while Tiger gets his biscuits gravy.
Like, you know what I mean? All right. Hey, Nick D. Wilshire. Hey, you're my personal driver. Yeah, look, we're going to go to Perkins. Listen, here's $20. Go ahead and go in. Get yourself some lunch. I'll be out here hitting 350-yard drives down the back of the Escalade, and I'll text you when we're done. Okay? Like,
I'll let you know when
he's not doing that.
I'll let you know. No.
Like, he's not doing that, dude.
Nope.
Like, bro's side quests are private material, dude. Come on.
Stephen A used to be interesting at times. Now he's unlistenable. And we don't need another empty TV personality screwing up America more, even as bad as other politicians
Couldn't
are.
agree more, dude.
Can we just have people that are qualified? Never mind. I don't want to get crazy. He doesn't need any witnesses. Truth. Yeah, Ammon, side quests. Have them sign an NDA and move on, because those are always, NDAs. He needs a driver. And I know this is crazy. Yeah. Maybe don't try to smash every chick that you come across. I don't know. Is Tiger a detestable human being?
Macaque.
All I know is if you're out side questing to the point where you don't want a personal driver.
Paul didn't go in the hoop.
That's the new verbiage around James doing anything besides working. He's out side questing.
Instead of driving to the hotel for a woman, he should call Uber Eats.
See what he did there? Nice job, dude.
Come on, dude.
Nice job, Tom. Well done.
Drop him off and wait. That's how it works. I don't care what he does in his personal life. I'm hired to drive.
That's not how it works, dude. You're not just dropping bro off.
Because pretty soon, hey, that's Tiger Woods' former driver, Nick D, live on TMZ talking about Tiger's D. Nick D talks Tiger's D. Next on TMZ.
D, what was Tiger's last romantic drop-off point? What was his last side quest that you dropped him off for? Well, on Tuesday morning at 10, he's got coffee with her. And then on Fridays at 3, he goes to this bar with homegirl, and I don't pick him up till like 8.
He goes to the Four Seasons with Rudy Giuliani. You guys remember that? Rudy
Not the
Giuliani
hotel,
was
though.
The landscape
warehouse.
company.
Yeah.
The landscape company, the Four Seasons. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Tiger needs to stop letting everybody club fit with him. Yeah. But he is
oh, well, bro got a fitting. It just was a little different than what you thought it would be.
Length and girth.
Yeah, bro's shaft is extra stiff. Don't you know that, Monty? I mean, come on.
You gotta get stroked.
However, maybe Tiger should hire Shohei's translator.
Buddy's name is Ipe, okay?
Heard he's looking for a job. He should be available after his 5-year nickel upstate. Ipe. That's still to this day. If there is any parallel, Tiger Woods car service driver guy and Ipe, nah, bruh. Because then Tiger's going to start like letting you. Oh, hey, this is my friend Jenny. Her friend Sheila's around back by the dumpster. Why don't you go? What does that even look like, brother? What is being Tiger Woods' personal driver? I mean, the unspeakable acts. How long does it take Tiger to get comfortable with his new driver?
Dick Hammer.
I mean, how many side quest stops do you have to go on to be comfortable? Like 10?
You can't. You can't. I love this show. First thing I hear after waking up 2 minutes ago was length and girth. That's exactly right.
Length and girth.
Yeah, bro.
Four seasons. Exactly. 4 FOR 4. See, Nick D says if Pete Rose had a translator, he would have been in the Hall of Fame while he was alive. Truth. Tiger needs to learn from Major League and put a hat on that bat,
bro.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
Okay.
It'll be interesting. It will be. All right, let's get into. Okay, do we want to go? Let's mix in Let's do the Jimmy John story before we get into NBA draft. Is this even a question, Jersey Mike's or Jimmy John's? I don't even think this is a question. I truly do not believe, like, it's Jersey Mike's all day.
Yes.
It's Jersey Mike's all day. Why are we?
No doubt.
Why are we? What's that?
No question about it. I mean, it's not even close. I mean, I think that it's even insulting to Jersey Mike's to even bring up Jimmy John's in the same conversation, in my opinion.
Let's not get carried away.
I'm not a Jimmy John's guy, even a little bit. Never have been.
Apparently, we're not the only ones.
Hey, Jimmy John's. What is this? What is this? This is, yes, it's a Little John. But what is it? What is this?
That's called a Little John. And it looks disgusting to me.
Hey, Jimmy John's. What is this? What is this? This is, yes, it's a Little John. But what is it? What is this?
It looks like one of those foam pipe insulators that you put on like a gas line or that's coming out of your AC unit.
Can you measure it?
Yeah, this does not make me want to eat lunch.
Hey, Jimmy John's. What
Look
is
how
this?
thin it is. It's got a lack of meat,
What
bro.
is this? This is, yes, it's a Little John. But
She has such long fingers.
what is it? What is this?
432,000 likes later on this video. And you're telling me that people are team Jimmy John's. My ass, dude. You're not. Jimmy John's has nothing on Jersey Mike's, dude. Absolutely nothing. And I agree. Jimmy John's at one point served a purpose. But if you're going to Jimmy John's now, you know what you're not getting. You know you're getting ass quality, dude.
The Little John, according to Jimmy John's website, is just 300 calories, and it's recommended as a kid's meal or a snack. And it runs about $3. Why would you order this? Why would you? I
don't know.
The thing I don't understand is it's very clear on the menu, right? It's a different size. It's lower calories. Why do you knew that when you ordered it and then you complain about it? Do you side with the woman or do you side with Jimmy John's? Because I'm full team Jimmy John's on this one.
Okay, here's my only problem with this Sando. I agree that's a fair defense. But the problem is that it just looks terrible. Like the bread itself looks like cardboard, right?
Yes, it
like
does.
the lack of ingredients in it doesn't help its case. I understand that you're going for a Little John, light on the calories. I get that. But that doesn't mean the presentation just goes right down the crapper, dude. Like this is, you just grabbed the tiniest piece of bread you could, slapped a couple of pieces of deli meat on it with a tiny ass handful of lettuce, and that was it. Like that's it. There was no thought to, okay, yeah, this is a Little John, but how can I make this look good and give the customer a good experience? That's my problem here.
Hey, Jimmy John's. What is this? What is this? This is, yes, it's a Little John. But what is it? What is this?
Like how much?
Exactly
how much
what you
is
ordered.
a Little John? How much are they charging people for this?
$3. It's about $3.
Okay, at $3, are you eating this or are you eating like McDeezee's or fat like
I'm eating
fast
this.
food?
I'm eating this. We had In-N-Out in LA and it just was not very good. It just, the fries suck in In-N-Out. They're terrible. That doesn't mean I didn't vacuum scarf like a whole bag of them.
Dude, you guys are children in the comment section with Little John is smaller than Little Tiger. Dude, Tom, bro.
Tiger swings a big stick. What do you want?
Oh, dude. cute.
It's a $3 meat fun noodle. Exactly.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Apparently. That bread looked almost as dry as a Domino's crust.
Agreed. The bread looks pretty rough.
The bread legitimately looks plastic to me. I would agree. It just is not appetizing.
No.
Stadium guy James.
Oh, skip the Baylor segment, but we're here for Jimmy John's. I see you working.
You don't order a Little John. You get a number 5, a Vito with no onions, or a 13 Jimmy Cubano.
Bro's got the whole menu on lock.
Bro, do you ever eat anything that's healthy for you?
And with all due respect.
Yeah, Monty, I drink water. No, you don't. Do you ever eat anything that doesn't tear up your butthole? Like, just out of curiosity. Right? Like,
it's so specific. You get a number 5, a Vito with no onions, or a 13, a Jimmy Cubano. Like,
I'm not ordering a Little John. Frankly,
It is what it is.
I'm not doing it. I am of a certain age and ability to procure certain types of
such as
nourishment and stuff. I'm not ordering Jimmy John's ever.
No.
I live in downtown Seattle. I have a condo tower, and right down the street, there's a great sandwich shop owned by this cute little Seattle couple who's been there for probably 30 years, I think he said.
It's actually a great spot, too. It's because it's not just a sandwich shop. They've got all kinds of stuff in there, and they actually do great sandwiches.
I'm just telling you, that's support local, right? Thanks for telling us your menu order, James. Oh. Like, how do you... how, in the comment section, how often do you guys eat fast food? Just out of curiosity. I had fast food. Okay, is Chipotle fast food?
Yes.
Okay, so this past weekend I had fast food twice.
Yeah.
That's probably more than I have in an entire week.
Mm-hmm.
Any week. I had it twice in 2 days. I had Chipotle and In-N-Out. And it's been years and years since I went to In-N-Out, and it's still ass.
Dude, the burger at In-N-Out is solid. The fries suck.
The fries are terrible. And the burger's not solid. The bun sucks at In-N-Out. But I had a bad exit strategy after eating Five Guys in Paris, so I'm a little shell-shocked. That's why I don't eat burgers on the regular.
Right.
But I don't eat fast food very often for a reason. Chewy. Screw the Dodgers. Anybody see the Cubs actually won a baseball game yesterday? Last night against the Angels of Los Angeles. And I'd also like to point out that my guy, and he is my guy, Edward Cabrera, dominated. Cubs win 7-2. Ian Happ's got 3 bombs. That's what we do. You know.
Did you get the baseball package on ESPN yet?
Shut up, Jake. Everybody ain't able like you. Okay. I did not get the baseball, but we get it free because we're Cubs season ticket holders. So we get it free. Well, free. It comes with your Cubs season tickets.
Your package.
Oh. Gabriel. See, you put me in these positions, Jake, where I have to like make jokes about a package because you're slamming Lanning.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to get a life, bro.
After seeing the McDonald's CEO, I've decided not to eat fast food for a month. And so far, I am 3 weeks in. Wow.
Nice.
Attaboy. Nice, Mr. Green. I had an Arch burger. Commercial got me. Took 2 days to get over it. Oh, no.
It's disgusting.
Oh, no. 22 times a month you eat fast food. You only go to Jimmy John's when you're in a hurry. Jersey Mike's tastes better.
So then how do you explain that you know your order right off the top at
How do
Jimmy
you
John's?
how do you have like a default Jimmy John's order that you can just list off on demand?
If it's like a contingency plan, if it's just like hey, I need something fast. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Freaky fast Jimmy John's. It wasn't that used to be their things. Sandwich James is back in the chat. Yeah, Muldoon, that was my point. That it looks like a fun noodle, right?
Hey, Jimmy John's. What is this? What is this? This is, yes, it's a Little John. But what is it? What is this?
The
She's
sandwich
so
you ordered?
outraged, dude.
But you ordered it. She ordered the sandwich.
Yeah, but you have to admit it's underwhelming, dude. Even as a Little John, it's underwhelming.
Yeah, you've heard that before.
Yes.
James is always on the road. Lord James was born to be a rambling man. Exactly.
This is my point, James. Like, how do you expect us to believe that you didn't go to Magic City? How do you expect us to believe that you don't go to Buc-ee's daily? Like, what are we
James
supposed to
goes
believe?
to Buc-ee's daily.
Like,
right?
we know that you stop at Buc-ee's as part of your built-in commuter routine.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, we all have things we have to do. I get it. We get it. Deliric, up until recently, not that often, one every 2 weeks, but have been too much lately due to unforeseen circumstances. Okay. I don't hate it. Yeah, Ian Happ's on fire recently. Let's go. Okay. No, I'm not having the curly fry argument today. I'm not. And your wife is a good woman. The crinkle cuts are way better. Curly fries, you guys, you're not 7 years old. Stop with the curly fries. Grow up. I hate curly fries. You're not a vegan.
Yeah, stop lying, dude. Stop. Like,
you are not. Shut up. You are not vegan. I don't believe you. After all the scumbaggery you have displayed in the comment section, I'm supposed to believe you care about animals?
Please.
Are you really a vegan? This would be such a phenomenal turn of events. That would be wow. James is a takeout man. He's always riding dirty. I bet Oak State James I bet you Oak State James, the Japo shitbox, has just tons of fast. I can't stand people who leave food and trash in their car. And I am guessing that James, who's not a TCU fan, but a fraud at Oak State, I'm going to guess his car is full of fast food trash. I'm just going to guess. I could be wrong. Yeah, you don't have this face in that car and have it be clean inside. Yeah, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. Yeah. He's a feral animal. I don't go to Buc-ee's daily. I prefer to take Highway 317 home instead of one.
Is that supposed to mean anything to me?
What does the Highway 317 got to do with the price of dung in Istanbul? Do you understand? Nobody knows that reference, guy. I got my demon and my semen and my Elman and my Wyman and my Hellman's mayonnaise at Buc-ee's. Nobody knows what that means. Nobody knows what it means when you say you're charting, let alone I take Highway 317 home. Who cares? Baylor sucks. Like, what does one have to do with the other?
Bro, how did Baylor catch a stray over, quote, Highway 317?
So are we supposed to understand that there's no Buc-ee's on 317? I can't wait to walk into the Buc-ee's opening up. Oh, is there a new Buc-ee's by you? Dude, I've been a vegan for 7 years. That's amazing. It's very difficult to be a demon. You know, why, Mike Smith? When you get the runs, do they call it a salad shooter?
Bro.
That is wrong. I can't wait to walk into Buc-ee's opening up by me to order the stadium guy James and see what happens.
Is this the dagger?
I don't believe for a second that James doesn't eat at Buc-ee's every day. I don't believe that. I think he does. I would bet there's a bunch of old fries that have been dropped underneath his seats. Oh, that's disgusting. When I get the runs, we call it tofu bombing.
Dude, bro.
No. Why? So is it a principled thing? Is it like a morals and ethics thing?
How did you decide to be vegan, dude? Like,
were you smashing with a vegan and so you went vegan and then she dumped you and you stayed vegan?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like what like
Chewy does kind of strike me as a guy who will smash with a chick, she'll dump him and then he won't wash the pillowcase so he can smell her. He is a Dodger fan. I took that from a movie. James is just setting himself up to get a hit taken out on him, gives places he eats, roads he takes, and so on.
Yeah, I was looking at the map of said highways while he was rolling this takeout on us. And the problem is, dude, is that this Highway 35 route or whatever takes you way out into the middle of nowhere. So where exactly are you taking this road to? Do you have like a little shack out there, or what are we doing, bro? I'm just asking for a friend.
Is that where the Walmart managers roam? Like, I don't want to know what happens out in the oil country. That's up to you guys. Nick's D. Monty, where are your seats for the Cubs? My uncle is also a season ticket holder. May see you there one of these games.
Who are you, Big Daddy Magic?
I'm in the bleachers. Charting is James' side quest. I believe it is. Tofu bombing. That's a new one on me. Yeah, don't get any of that tofu bombing on you. You take the back roads instead of the highway. Buc-ee's is on the interstate in Temple, Texas.
Dude.
I don't believe you. Okay. How long's it been since you had a brisket sando? Sandwich. Which is worse, fast food or gas station food? Nobody eats gas station food. If you eat hot food at a gas station, may the Lord be with you. Never talk bad about curly fries again, okay, Timmy? You do you. You do you, bud. Lopes Van Gabe, the next person who gives an F about James' preferred commute route will be the first and only. Wow.
Damn, bro.
Wow. Very true, though. I just think it's so weird that James will drop her in. Well, Monty, listen, if we go over here and we just every day we go here and there and Buc-ee's and 135 to the 237 with the 419, that gets us into all country and 6 for 6 on these wells right here across my property, Monty.
And I'll see you in Valhalla.
That's who James is. I'm convinced of it. I am convinced of it. I do it for environmental and animal rights reasons. Okay. Vegan farts could power the earth. Why are we so obsessed with vegan farts right now? Can't tell me they smell good. I remember there was a McDee's down in Louisiana that could get Cajun fries dipped in batter and spicy seasoning. Great stuff. Ooh. We had empanadas at Javier's last week.
Melted our face off, bro.
And I'm Caucasian. I am the least spicy ingesting dude. And I am telling you, bro, my face was on fire. What are you looking at, Jake?
Tiger Woods allegedly, according to the cops, had pills in his pockets at the time of his arrest. Allegedly. So now we're getting the back and forth of, was he, arrested improperly? What did he have in his system? Cops say he had pill. Like, it's just a he said, she said until we see the evidence, dude. Like, I don't know. They're saying that when he removed his sunglasses, the deputy observed Wood's eyes to be, quote, bloodshot and glassy, and his pupils were extremely dilated, and that he was lethargic and slow.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's going to come down to and Tiger claims that he was distracted by his phone and the radio at the time of his crash. So, I don't know, bro. I'm telling you, it's not an alcohol thing, but I do think that the take is what was in your system and what was in your pocket. That's the problem.
I think probable cause is going to be an epic battle. Probable cause is what will make or break this case.
Yeah.
I don't have any doubt about it. I cannot believe that we're in a place where Tiger Woods, if it's true that he was driving around with narcotics in his pocket, you can't be at the Masters. You cannot have narcotics in your pocket at the Masters. That is the irresponsibility of that. If that's true, that's going to be tough to deal with. Yeah. Yeah, I think Tiger is unable to function without painkillers. Too much damage to his body. Dude should not be on the road at all. He should not be driving. If it is in fact true.
Yeah, because it is still if it's true. It's not, to be clear, it hasn't been reported as fact.
That Tiger had narcotics in his pocket, pills in his pocket. You can't trust him. And again, the reports yesterday were the Secret Service does not allow him to drive anybody on the Trump bloodline. So his girlfriend's kids are not allowed in his car. We'll see. That's tough. All right. Hour number 3 of the Monty Show. Let's get into the NBA draft. Do you guys believe the NBA draft is fixed? I do. I think it is. The whole lottery thing, I think, is a bunch of BS. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I think the NBA wants to have their best players in their best stories. And I think the Utah Jazz are going to get the frozen envelope. I think whatever you want to call it, however you want to spin it, my belief is that the Utah Jazz will get the benefit of the doubt because the AJ DeBanza stars are too aligned. They're too aligned. He played at Utah Prep, funded by Ryan Smith. Played for the Utah Jazz, or played for the BYU basketball team, Ryan Smith. It's too aligned. Ryan is a hipster bro that the NBA loves. He brings good PR. I am a big believer that, Jake, I think the Jazz are going to get AJ DeBanza.
Yeah, I think what's hard for me is I don't even disagree the stars are aligned completely, right? Ryan Smith, AJ's pipeline through the state of Utah, like, there's all kinds of connections, totally. And I think that the league has this the league suffers under Commissioner Ears, Adam Silver, to manage its reputation and its image. It always has under him, and it always will, in my opinion. And right now, it is, it's suffering from the perception that you're rewarding losing and that you fix the draft to make sure that the Lakers are taken care of, that Dallas has a star, and that the Jazz never get anything. That's essentially what your reputation is right now. And the struggle I have with this concept is that what is the reward for the league, let's say rigging the draft to get AJ to the Jazz? Is it because I don't disagree the stars are aligned. Logically, it's like, all right, cool, that makes sense. But then if you step out of that for a second and you look at what's taken place the last 20 years, let's not forget about the pipe job that just took place in the very same lottery we're talking about around Cooper Flagg and the Jazz. Mm-hmm. And so I think that the NBA, if you want to call it fixing or, managing the draft, whatever verbiage you want to use, massaging it, certainly they do. I have no question about that. And I think certainly the league, tries really hard to get into certain situations, whether that's Braun in LA, whether that's, a certain individual going here or there, or whatever it might be, any of the situations over the years. So I think they do fix the draft, but I think the league just suffers from the fact that it doesn't have great leadership. And so the league is only in this situation with the Jazz because of the tanking stuff. And look no further than the rocket science proposals that they put out around tanking. And I'm not joking, dude. Help me understand half of the stuff they're putting out around these tanking proposals, like winning floors and top 5 teams and it's so complicated to understand that I just am sitting here. I'm don't disagree with you, Morty, that AJ to the Jazz is a logical take. Sure. But
because
it's just hard to see how it happens.
If you think about Utah Prep and Jazz owner Ryan Smith, who no longer owns Utah Prep, by the way, because it's a basketball academy of sorts, which NBA owners, I don't believe, are allowed to own basketball academies. It's a prep school in good old, not Hurricane, but Hurricane, Utah.
Right.
And I think they're primarily basketball and golf. And that's where AJ DeBonsa went to school. And then immediately went up to BYU. It just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense, in my opinion. And I think, I think it's going to be.
What does it do for the league? That's my biggest thing, because that's all this is ever about. Put yourself in the commissioner's shoes. He's trying to appease owners and trying to make sure that the league is moving in a proper way. That's my only struggle with the DeBonsa to the Jazz thing. I don't know how that appeases the league, other than, hey, look, we're going to make an example out of Ryan Smith and the Jazz, and look at the pipeline, and look at this and look at that. And so the other problem is that the Jazz paid this $500,000 fine for tanking. So if they get the number 1 pick in this year's draft, dude, in the lottery, what does that say about tanking? Oh, I know. It says that tanking works in a time when you're putting out rocket science tanking proposals for combating it. So that's where I'm like, what's the play? That's what I don't understand. What's the play for the league? And if there is a play, maybe it hasn't come to light yet. Who benefits from AJ going to the Jazz? Because somebody will, not name the Jazz. Somebody outside of that will benefit. And I'm just curious who that would be.
I don't know. The Jazz have tanked better than everybody. Right? I mean, I don't know. This feels like a fait accompli to me. And can you imagine what this would mean to BYU to have the number 1 pick in the NBA draft? That would be. And
would it mean more than going deep in the tournament?
I think far more. Far, far more. Because nobody thinks you can be the number one pick in the NBA draft going to BYU. I just don't think that's something people think about. They think about Duke. They think about Kansas. They think about nobody thinks about BYU as the place you go to be the number one pick in the draft. Right? Like, and you look at where the Jazz are. I want to say the Jazz have the 5th worst record in the NBA. And I can look it up, but you got to think about the Pacers, the Nets, the Kings, the Wizards, who the Lakers. Did you guys see the Austin Reeves to LeBron James alley-oop? Dude, I think I gave my dog palpitations last night when that thing went down. The rack attack. I'm like sitting there editing some golf video that I had taken at the range yesterday. Austin Reeves no-look alley-oop to LeBron.
Juicy.
Was incredible. The worst records in the NBA. The Indiana Pacers by far, and the Washington Wizards at 17-58. Brooklyn, Sacramento, the Jazz, who are 3 games worse than Dallas, 4 worse than the Pelicans and the Grizzlies. And I think the Jazz are going to win the draft. And I think A.J. DeBanza will play for the Jazz. I think it's written in the stars. I do. I think that.
Okay, what do you think then around these tanking proposals though? Like, do you agree that these proposals they put out are like rocket science? Like they make it worse. It's hard to understand them.
It's terrible.
Like it's like I just when I saw these, I was like, dude, I don't even know like what is my opinion?
It's awful.
Like, how am I supposed to pick one of these, dude? They put out 3 different ones. They're all different lingo, and it's like you're reading arithmetic. Like, what are we doing, dude? Like, look at this. 18 teams would enter the lottery. Bottom 10 plus all 8 play-in teams. All bottom 10 teams would have an equal 8% chance at the number 1 pick. Unlike the current format, all 18 spots would be determined by the lottery drawing. Okay. Proposal 2, 22 teams included. So this is more than the 18 of proposal 1. Bottom 10, 8 play-in, and 4 first-round playoff losers. Odds are weighted by record across 2 seasons, WNBA style. The win floor. Teams must hit a minimum win total of 20 wins for lottery purposes to discourage extreme losing. Which I think is funny they use the verbiage extreme losing. Why don't you just say tanking like the rest of us, dude? And then you have this last one where we're back to 18 teams in the lottery. Bottom 10, 8 play-in. The bottom 5 teams all receive the same odds. Separate drawings for the top 5 picks. Then another for the remaining 13 spots. Safety net. The 5 worst teams cannot fall lower than the 10th, preventing a total collapse. I don't know which one I like more, dude.
I think these are terrible. What should happen is that I think that you have to incentivize winning. And I do like the record over 2 seasons. I think that's a solid part of it. But I think that you have to have record matter. And I think you should have I'm not going to say a tournament, but you should have a competition for the last 6 weeks of the season. And whoever teams that miss the playoffs, whoever has the best record of the teams who miss the playoffs gets the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that difficult. And if you want to say who's got the best record over the last 2 seasons, okay, cool. But you've got to de-incentivize these teams to stop. Like the Jazz are benching their starters with the lead in the 4th quarter.
And then crying wolf when they get fined for it, which I think is just incredibly rich. And that's why I say, like, I guess I just feel like, and we experience this in college football all the time, right? Like, hey, we're talking about an issue, and those in power who make these decisions make things way more complicated than they need to be. And I very much feel like this tanking issue in the NBA is the same thing, because I couldn't agree more with you, right? Like, this is a commissioner who has rolled out like tournament after tournament at the All-Star break, the NBA Cup. Like, how many different tournaments are we going to get out of Commissioner Ears, dude? Like, we get it. You like tournaments. Why are you not just doing a tournament for this? This is something we can all get behind. And by the way, people have been asking for this for like 20 years. This is not even a new concept. Hey, man, make the worst teams play for the number one pick. Partner with your TV partners, and you're good to go.
I think two things that matter are, one, you can't be in the lottery 2 years in a row. No team should be in the lottery 2 years in a row. And I think you need to do one of two things: either expand the number of teams eligible for the number one pick, or shrink the lottery to 5 teams. And make it so that you can't have what the Jazz have done, being bad year after year after year after year. You're rewarding them for being bad. You got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that. I am not pissed the Jazz got fined. I'm pissed that it's so arbitrary and inconsistent. Well, and I think there's some of that.
But isn't it, here's the thing, that point, like, you're right, it is arbitrary and inconsistent, but isn't this basically the karma you had coming to you as an organization by tanking instead of developing talent and, like, you know, doing what other organizations have done to be good? Like, isn't that, this is what you get, right? Like, in Jazz fans always tell me this is a dumb take, but I just can't seem to get away from it. Like, you have been bad long enough. Like, you've essentially been awful and ass since Bro bought the organization and traded away all your talent.
Correct.
And then since then, you have tanked and you've been bad, and you've said we're turning it around and we're going big game hunting and we're going to get all this talent and everything's going to be amazing. And then you get Markkanen and you extend him, and everyone was like, oh, we're really excited. And now you've got Ace Bailey, and you've got the Colliers of the world coming off the bench, and you've got Keontae George, you know, turning into a real player now. And then they fine you for tanking because you have all this talent and you should be like a 30-win team, but you're not. And then you complain when you get fined after tanking's been such a league-wide mandate behind the scenes. And this is my point. This is the classic age-old schoolyard issue that Jazz fans don't want to cop to, which is, hey, there's rules and we can bend those rules on the playground, but if you're going to punch a kid in the face, yeah, then we're going to have to take care of that. And that's essentially what the Jazz did here. You tanked so egregiously that you didn't give the league much of a choice. That's the problem. And I agree, Brandon, completely that they should have fined other teams. There's no question about it. Like, I wouldn't have just fined the Jazz. The Jazz would have been the spearhead for me if I was the commissioner, but I'd have gotten after the Heat. I'd have gotten after Washington. I certainly would have looked at the rest of the league and said, hey, what are these other squads where we can definitively say they sat their starters when they were in a tight game in the fourth quarter? That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have just made an example out of the Jazz. They just would have been the first team to catch the Heat. That's the thing.
I think if you get AJ DeBanza, this is the other reason I think they'll get AJ. What would your starting 5 be? Keontae? You certainly, I would think, would start AJ. Lauri Markkanen. You would probably play JJ at the 4 and Walker Kessler at the 5. You're going to be deep enough that Ace Bailey's coming off the bench. What team would be bigger in the NBA? What team would be more athletic? And this doesn't even account for Bryce Sensabaugh and Isaiah Collier.
The problem is, though, again, and maybe they just ignore it, right? Because you're totally right. Again, I don't even disagree with you. But what are they going to say when, hey, the tanking worked for the Jazz, they got AJ with the number 1 pick, but now we're outlawing tanking? That's the bet that the league has made for itself. That's the problem.
I don't think they care. They just want to be seen to be in action doing something about it.
Maybe so.
I think they need to address load management before they address tanking. Can't even go to a game anymore because there's a 50-50 chance the stars aren't playing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk
Luka
about...
didn't play for the Lakers last night. A guy that is arguably an MVP candidate, Luka Doncic, didn't even play for the Lakers at home last night.
Yeah.
I mean, we still won, but
I mean, you want to talk about the NBA's place and enjoyment. I think that there's a different there is a real reasonable take that Major League Baseball has passed the NBA as far as stature in sports, because I don't,
here we go.
I just don't think the NBA is where it's at right now, man. They got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do, bro.
Well, listen, I'm stoked the Sonics are coming back to Seattle. Stoked. But this right here will prevent me from going to games. It'll prevent me from going to games. If I, as a Laker fan, if I can't see Luka and Reeves, why am I going to the game? For hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Right? But I can go to a game for $50-$60 in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. And now living in Seattle, the Cubs come here. I can just hop on a scooter or my e-bike and go down to the stadium. Yeah.
It's a 5-minute bike ride down the road. But I can't afford the NFL. I can't afford the NBA. Like, what's the equation here? I think baseball's just more affordable. That's what I think. And you still have a really good local feel with baseball. So I like the third one. If you lose because a star gets hurt, you shouldn't get punished. You should have a chance at getting the number 1 pick. Nah. The problem is injured there's so much conjecture.
It's loose. Yeah,
Yeah. I wonder if the Spurs losing the Admiral that one season and winding up getting top pick to get Duncan changed it for 2 seasons record instead of just, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting argument, right?
Yeah.
Mapes, who's been a member of the program for 31 months.
Okay.
BDM is planning the AJ parade with the Salt Lake City mayor. Yeah. Bro. BDM's been on one lately. Now he's a huge BYU fan. You can't just get a top 5 pick 2 years in a row. I don't think you should be able to at all. But tanking has worked for every other NBA team in the past.
That's the problem, dude. That's the problem.
And I continue to say this. I know they say different things publicly. I don't think NBA owners want to eliminate tanking. I don't. I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form. I think it saves them money. It makes them money. They can sell jerseys of the top rookies, like basketball cards, tickets. It's gotten Ryan Smith a renovated stadium and new practice facility. Why would you? Think of the number of high-end draft picks, sometimes multiple, the Browns have gotten over the years and still managed to squander it.
Yes.
The Jazz have gotten over the years and squandered them. Right? Yeah, you don't want Devin Booker. 36 last night. You don't want Book. So where was the karma for Dallas and ducking the play-in to get lively? AD and Trey sitting most of the season for the Wizards. The Jazz are just playing the system that they designed, but doing it poorly. Too blatantly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ultimately, tanking worked fantastic for the Spurs, and they won multiple championships because of it. I agree. No doubt. Maybe the Jazz was just the example the league wanted to make, but sometimes when it is so obvious and in your face that they don't try to hide it, it's a bad look.
Well, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that somehow the Jazz are the only one tanking. They're not. It's so clear that a lot of the league tanks. Like, the bottom probably 10 teams are tanking in some form or fashion, different aggressiveness levels, obviously. Like, they're definitely taking opportunities. But again, it's the classic cops versus bad guy movie where the cops are like cutting the bad guy a break on the streets, and then the bad guy wants to go out and take advantage of that system and make the cops look bad. And so the cops got to snap back and smack you down. And that's what the league did to the Jazz. And so it just is, I guess I just wasn't that outraged by it. I felt like it was like, hey man, like, you're going to be that in your face about it. Like, we can't be seen to be a league that's incentivizing losing. That's just not We're not doing that. And we haven't even mentioned once today the gambling side of this conversation. So
no, we haven't.
That for the league is the whole other beast that they have to manage.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Oh, look, Penn State. Child sex predators and child sex assault. Love to see it at Penn State. Way to go, Epstein Island.
Nice
Congratulations.
job,
okay, you can go back to invisibility. What they are going to say is, see, the Jazz won the draft. We need top fix it now. You have to fix it because the Jazz can't win anything.
That's what I'm saying. For the league, it's just such a terrible position to be in. Oh, we got to stop tanking. But God forbid AJ go to Utah. Then we got a rookie we got to celebrate in Utah. Like, it's
I just
terrible.
don't think the league hates the Jazz the way people think the league hates the Jazz.
Well, maybe they don't hate the Jazz. They certainly don't like the Jazz. Their behavior says that.
You think that's true? You think that the league hates the Jazz?
I just don't think that the league has any reason to help the Jazz or like the Jazz or what do you like? You know what I mean? Like the league helps the Lakers because it's LA. The league helps other major city franchises because they need those franchises to be relevant.
So you're convinced that the league favors the Lakers, even though they wouldn't let him make the Chris Paul trade. The league favors the Lakers.
Yeah, it's why Luka is a Laker, in my opinion, because you said, hey, the Lakers need an injection of talent. They don't have a lot of value to do a deal with Dallas. Dallas is a team that has always been ages and ages and ages, right? Has always been a team that is a second tier market that always takes down the big boy. And that's exactly what they are with Buddy now, right? Like that's exactly what they are with Cooper Flag. They're a team that's going to overachieve based on the roster.
So they traded Luka and they were gifted Cooper Flag.
Correct. We'll trade Luka in a bad deal to the Lakers. You will give us the number 1 pick with which we will take Cooper Flag. And in that process, we're
how
going
much tinfoil did you have to buy to make that happen?
Enough that we're going to talk about a certain bullet matching around today of a weapon. That's how much tinfoil, bro. Because the Jazz through that process got absolutely smacked when Jazz fan was like, oh, we're getting the number 1 pick. Yeah, actually, script says you're not getting the number 1 pick. Dallas is getting the number 1 pick. We'll see you down at 12, dude. Just saying.
Yeah. MLB is in a worse place because of the CBA. We may lose an entire season while the owners fight amongst themselves about the cap. Well,
possible.
You also have NFL officiating. That's a problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
When the NFL has expansion teams, those teams get the top draft picks. Figure the NBA would do the same thing like that to help teams. We'll see. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. The problem is you can't fix the mindset in the NBA. The days of Kobe and Jordan saying these people paid their hard-earned money to watch me play, I'm going to play. Where's LeBron says where LeBron says F the fan? LeBron doesn't say F the fan.
Yeah, LeBron, bro. Yeah, you need to correct your take on LeBron, dude. LeBron is not the guy that says F the fan. Kawhi Leonard is the guy that says F the fan.
They're 5th in the NBA, man.
They're 5th in the NBA. Bron has played more minutes than Wemby, yet Wemby's in the MVP race and Bron is not. Like you're
LeBron's played 54 games.
Yeah, you can't say that Bron's load managing this year. He's not. I agree that he's not playing 38 minutes a night or whatever.
No, 34.
34. But again, you wouldn't expect him to play that many minutes at this stage in his career. You don't need him to with the dynamic on their team. But the point remains that the villains of league of load management are Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. Those two figures together with Paul George are a spearhead of, hey, we just want to get paid and we don't want to play 82 games. And no, I'm not here for let's shorten the season. Part of the challenge of winning a championship is that you play 82 games and then the playoffs come. That's part of the challenge.
I don't know. I think between the storylines between the Jazz and the Pacers, because right now, so the Pacers... Don't the Pacers have like the 52% chance of getting the number 1 pick based on their record, being 17-58, tied with the Wiz for dead last? And if they get that pick, they get to keep it. Like, I don't know. And if you're the Jazz, you hope Indiana gets it if you don't, because they'll take Darren don't want a Peterson.
Right.
They will. Gabriel, I'm going to be really honest. This season has made me very tired of Adam Silver. Yes.
Agreed. They need a new commissioner. No doubt.
Yes. It will be rigged to the nation if the Jazz get the top pick and rigged to the Jazz if they don't. Well, true. Because Jazz fans are always victims, though. Yeah. I'm starting to lean or learn towards your sentiments about Commissioner Ears, Jake. Besides Lakers games, I rarely watch the NBA outside of quick highlights. It's true.
Yeah, yesterday was amazing with Major League Baseball, dude. Full slate of games, like you flip around, like it's great, dude. It is easily accessible. Like I don't have to go hunting for it. It's awesome.
Where are you subscribed to the MLB package?
ESPN app.
Okay. And you like it?
I do. I like it very much. It's easy.
Don't
have to worry about in market yeah.
Did you see the Cubs together?
No.
Because they Cub together? You didn't watch the Cub game?
No, it was on after work, dude.
God, you're disgusting to me. How do you not watch the Chicago Cubs?
Anyway.
What game did you watch? No, the Giants.
The Twins, dude. But it was still a baseball game. It was the only game on during the day.
The fucking Twins. The Cubs are on.
No, they weren't on. That's my point, dude. They were
Cubs
not on, dude.
There's no baseball if the Cubs are not on.
Well.
Scumbag.
Wow, Dad. Wow.
Scumbag.
Hey, Monty.
Take that, you clap having Jezebel.
Let's go to the Twins game, Monty. Said nobody ever, Nobody.
Keep it real.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing. I didn't write the schedule yesterday, dude.
Loser.
Okay, it's Tuesday. Let's see what baseball we don't have on because it's travel day. Let's see.
You're starting to piss me off now. You know who's on.
Let's see. It's Monday.
You know who's on.
Okay. Here we go. So we have the Rangers and Orioles.
No, we don't. We have the Cubs and Angels.
Right, but that's at 4:40, right?
Jamison Tyone is pitching for the Cubs.
Jamison Tyone. Jamison, don't tie my arm off and put me on the IR,
Here we go.
Anyway. Okay. All right.
Come up to Seattle. The Yankees are in town.
The Yankees, man.
No. Well, I'm sorry that your Gardos play tonight in Los Angeles. Or no, you said, where do the scumbag Twins play?
I have no idea. Where are they at now?
I don't know. Twins are off today.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, sad?
Are you
no,
sad
I'm
your
not,
favorite
dude,
Minnesota
bro,
Twins team is not playing?
Can I not just get... Oh, yeah, it was awesome to have baseball back on the tube, dude. That was awesome. Like,
no,
great.
Not when you say, oh, man, I watched the Twins game.
Dude, you're being a hater right now.
Let me tell you something, Monty.
You're being a hater, dude.
Minnesota, the stadium where they have the War Memorial, that's not where the Twins play. Let me tell you. Nobody likes the Twins.
Anyway.
Nobody. Yeah, Roche makes a great point. I didn't know Jake was such a Twins fan.
Well, now that they're in the East,
Twins are playing Bishop Sycamore tonight. National League title on the line.
Right. Yeah.
What now? Let me tell you what now.
Monty getting all excited for the Cubs early on to play the role of Charlie Brown when Lucy pulls the ball away as he is getting ready to kick it. We're going undefeated the rest of the way. Bregman's going to hit 197.
Yeah.
50 bombs.
Yeah.
Now you're just pushing my buttons trying. I hate the Twins. I don't hate the Twins I don't hate the Twins. I just don't have feelings about the Twins.
No.
Just can't get into baseball or hockey. Wish I could, but I've tried. I love hockey.
Yeah, hockey is awesome, dude.
I watch every Twins game, Scoop says. I love the Twins, said Alex Caruso. Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? Are we going to do the story or should we just?
Nah, we shouldn't, dude. We're already like shadow banned, and we probably shouldn't. But
Yeah, anytime we talk about something, God, fuck.
Come on,
It
dude.
makes me crazy. Yeah, well,
We're not coaching Little League, buddy.
so the guy that lost part of his neck, and I said on this show, there's no way this teenager could have made this shot. Not teenager, but young man. Remember, we talked about this on the show last summer when the whole Utah Valley University situation happened.
Never.
And Buddy was murked.
And people were talking about hand signals behind the scenes, and
there's no way that guy made that shot.
We did what we did.
And I think Randy Riding was telling me how stupid I am with guns or pew-pews. Excuse me. Sorry, YouTube. My bad.
I'm going to say this again.
But remember, we were arguing over whether or not this kid could have made that shot.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the projectile no longer allegedly matches the vessel that it leaves when it took out Buddy.
So this young kid who had the instrument of destruction, well, the projectile that left his instrument of destruction is not the one that they're saying is not the one that removed a certain somebody from this layer to the next layer. They're saying that the striations, they don't match.
Okay, so do we think it's a foreign entity, or do we think this is classified, U.S. American material?
I don't know. I mean,
Infowars.com.
The fact that the cartridge doesn't match the tube is a huge problem.
I'm screwed.
And maybe, yes. Maybe Mr. Director shouldn't be dancing on videos on his computer that were hacked.
Oh.
Might want to go find that guy.
Hey, bro, might want to take off the USA hockey sweater and put the FBI jacket back on, bro. Thanks.
I don't know what you would say if that happens.
I mean, do tinfoilers not just rejoice over this situation? If you're a tinfoiler who the day of was like, there's no way, bro, executed that play to perfection, that this was a foreign entity and he was this and he was that. Like, tinfoilers rejoice over this story, dude. There's no question about it. No question about it, man.
I don't believe.
I personally believe.
This is my opinion. I still don't believe that guy can do that from where he was.
He can't make that throw.
From where he was to where
right?
Buddy was sitting. That kid's not putting that projectile on that endpoint. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
No.
I do not buy it. And I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about it. And yeah, exactly. I'm not normally the guy that's like, all right, cover the windows, tinfoil, let's do this.
Dude, it's tough to escape it, bro. I mean, it's really, because the thing is that, see, again, and we're tinfoiling here, so just grain of salt, hear me out. But you don't often get stories where there is global motivation to make noise with a certain individual. So helping Buddy move along, if you will, was like a splash, make a ton of noise, rock the boat type action that many people think countries abroad had motivation to go ahead and do. So to say that it doesn't add up, to say that all the puzzle pieces don't fit together, and again, to say that the FBI director got way out over his skis on this one doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the cover-up that's going on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't even, you can't, this is not something you can just explain away.
No.
There's no just explaining this away.
Yeah, fabricating another reason to go get on your boat and go across the ocean to cause issues overseas isn't going to cover this one up, dude.
I don't buy it. I think it's going to be really difficult to explain this, dudes.
Scriptwriters did a great job with that one.
There's no way, dude, put that thing on that guy and moved him along from where he was in those conditions. I've believed that from the beginning. That was
oh my God, Roche, dude. Bro, couldn't agree more, dude. I can't wait until the secret ear rebuilding technology gets released, but that's another topic. Precisely my point, dude. Precisely my point, bro. Thank you.
The secret ear rebuilding technology. We have it. It can be rebuilt.
Pay that man his money.
Somebody get the ketchup packet. We need special effects.
Dude.
It's really just that simple.
This video is getting so suppressed.
Oh, well, hey, guys, this is James. I'm doing another video. Why hasn't the Monty Show done a show in like a month? Well, if you look at their last show, they talked about the grassy knoll and some dude's ear technology, and all of a sudden they're no longer in existence, you know.
And this is my point. This right here, we talked about this on the show. No chance that happens. And you left it under a tree?
What is this? What is this, Battlefield? You just decided to drop it off over here so you could run? Like, come on, man.
And you didn't think they would see you on camera?
Like, bro.
Come on. I guess I just don't believe it. And
it never added up, and that's the problem, dude. It
doesn't
never
math.
added up, dude.
It doesn't math. Yeah, make it make sense.
Like, and again, if you go back and watch the show the day that came out, what did we say? We said, hey, take your feelings about bro out of this for a second, right? Like, this isn't about bro's takes or like any
politics
of the stuff he said. Like, take all that out of it, dude. Let's just look at this as, hey, a commentator was just moved along and none of this adds up. Like the footage, the disappearance, oh, we got him, and then all of a sudden it was like, no, actually you don't, dude. You don't. And then there was never any explanation as to what happened. And now all of a sudden the defense team for the person they're trying to put away is like, hey, yeah, actually, yeah, it turns out, yeah, it doesn't match. So
striations.
Yeah. Not really sure what you guys are going to do here, but good luck. So, it's just, I'm telling you, I personally believe, in my opinion, that U.S. Americans are going to crash out when the evidence comes out in totality, because eventually it will come out, dude. 100%.
Yeah, I think how would it not?
Yeah, bro.
The scrutiny is going to be over the top.
Notice the subtle name change here out of the mayor right here. Look at this. The last comment right here. Ball didn't go in the hoop. Bro.
Oh, that's amazing.
Dude.
Ball didn't go in the hoop.
Damn it. I'm a tinfoiler now. No, dude. You were always a tinfoiler. We all knew that. You just didn't want to admit it.
We just helped you come out of the tinfoil closet.
Yeah.
I'm here. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Dude, come on.
We helped you along in the process.
Right. Yeah. That's what it is, dude.
I think it's something we should all be paying attention to, because I think I don't know how you just overlook. Again, just at its basics, That shot is once in 100, and then you're telling me that kid, it's probably once in 1,000.
Because isn't the kid like 18 or like
he's
20?
a young guy.
He's a kid, dude.
He's a young guy. I don't remember his age, but he is not Charlie.
Don't say that bro's name, bro.
I didn't. I don't know what you mean. You know. Yeah, and now they're questioning the integrity. Oh my God.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Now we're going to talk about Tyler Robinson. Now we're going to talk about,
dude.
They're asking for a delay in the preliminary hearing as it needs more time to prepare and analyze evidence it has received.
It became personal with me.
Dude.
Oh boy.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that this is not going to end well.
I just want to remind you guys about this, right? So you've got
22 years old.
You've got our activities overseas in the sandbox taking place. You've got this taking place at home. You've got a certain stack of paperwork with names on it just waiting to be revealed in full. And you have those little, election type material going on, in a few months. Like, we're not really heading in a positive direction here, bro. This is not going to end well.
And again, just to add some red assery to it, we're over $4 a gallon today.
Yeah, we covered that earlier today too. So, but this isn't even a sports show anymore, dude. I don't even know what, or maybe this is a sport that we haven't acknowledged yet.
It's a live show. It's fine,
bro.
All right. If we're allowed back on the platform tomorrow, we'll look forward to Did we do well enough with the different
nomenclatures?
Yeah. Verbiage. And stuff.
Yeah. The vessel.
The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. 24/7, 365. Call The Advocates first, not second, not last, and certainly not after your insurance company. Call The Advocates first. They'll give you clear, risk-free advice. They know. It's one of the worst days of your life to be in an accident. When you're having a bad day, go get the best at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.